wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness when you're friend. You get me till at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness when you're friend. You get me at the end.
What's going on, folks? 안녕하십니까? 환영합니다. We are top of the league. Undefeated. Invincible. Scoring 1 goal a match. And just in case you forgot, Super chats make me feel, or make me, less negative. But before we get rolling here, I just got to say thank you to the people who make this show possible, the people who sponsor the show, who support the show financially on a regular basis. Our Patreon members over at patreon.com/THFCRants, Spartan7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Coates, Mr. Celery Agent AG, Gogomanim, Tony Gonim, Alex Burleton, Bob Spur TV, John N, Aaron Dove. And then you can also support the channel through a YouTube membership if you don't like Patreon. And those are Matt Hayes' Tottenham blog. If Matt Hayes is a member of this channel, so you should be. Asai says, Denny Kariaku, Wayne Bonner, Dan THFC, otherwise known as the Yid Kid, Tony Gonim, Scott M, Kieran McDonald over there from Spurs Late Night, and Tottenham Tantrum, Colin Lumsdale, and Kenneth Tottenham Hotspur. That is his real name. But it seems also that there's a gentleman here who we know well, and that is the Universe Mac.
Hello.
Hello, Universe Mac.
Please subscribe to my other channel, which is entitled Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Are the Worst Football Supporters.
I was hoping it was going to be like Eric Lamela fans or Harry Kane fans.
I didn't want to go crazy.
You didn't want to piss people off too bad. Got about 25 people watching the show. If you want to get into the chat, it is in subscriber only mode. That helps keep out the trolls and the Autobots and the Decepticons and all of those guys. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. And if you're here watching the show, I can tell you right now that you're going to appreciate subscribe to the channel. It'll be fun. The link to join the show is pinned to the top of the chat. If you'd like to come on stream tonight and have a chat with us about tonight's match or Son Heung-min's stunner of a free kick, you can do that by clicking that link up there, verifying yourself on YouTube, and joining the show. But for everyone else, you can also, all the links of all the things, if you'd like to become a Patreon channel member or pick yourself up any kind of sweet merch here, all kinds of fun stuff. Mr. Moon Boots, The Bun, Bald Beard, Tottenham Boys, Enoch Out stuff. Only costs $5 mil. It's a tribute to Dele Alli's haircut and some man smell some stuff. And a bunch of other stuff, masks, mugs, all kinds of stuff. I need to get myself a mask now that masks are starting to come back here in the United States. But we've also got a friend back here, maybe first time caller of the show, Mr. Jake Fowler.
What's up, Will? How's y'all, man?
Good. We're doing good. How you doing?
Pretty good, actually. I'm trying to kill some time while I'm doing my laundry tonight because I'm lazy, obviously. So,
I mean, if you're doing your laundry, you're not. If you're doing your laundry, you're not that lazy.
Yeah, but if he's lazy, he's got like 5 loads to get done.
I got to about 2, Cardi, so. And I got
very cool.
Like 8:30
You don't have kids then.
class. So what's up, boys?
Tell us about yourself. It's the first time you've been on the show, I think, that I can remember. Have you been on before?
I'm floating around the comments a lot. I know I sparked some last week with some blasphemy thing. If you remember that.
Blasphemy thing. I don't remember.
It was about Harry's miss versus Wolves, and I said like blasphemy. It's his first time back since July.
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Gotcha. But welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, everyone is welcome on the late night rant shows. We've also got another friend in the back from Cody's neck of the woods in Toronto, Canada, Mr. Abdul Kareem.
Listen,
Top of the league,
listen,
huh?
If you were
It's
on
not-
the
it's
Universe
not-
Galaxies channel, you would have to change your name to Abdul Kareem Jabbar.
It's not my neck of the woods. It's Abdul Kareem's neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm central. Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
I think Cody is the number one Spurs supporter in Canada. Canada's number one
Nah.
Spurs fan.
No, we got at least
Yes.
two Bryans. We got at least two Bryans ahead of me that I can.
I don't know if you go by Twitter followers. Just saying, Cody.
yeah.
You're getting up there now, man. You're like
Creating
1,500
chocolate.
almost.
almost. Yeah,
Chocolates.
almost.
1,500 followers on Twitter, but that's because Cody tweets like 12 times a day.
I think I tweet more than that actually.
Probably
It's like
20 times. Yeah. Gosh.
Replies to tweets and retweets also count as tweets.
Oh, if that counts.
I did-
I tweet 40 times a day.
I did some math the other day, and basically, Twitter is not a healthy thing for me. But
I'm gonna tell you what. I ruined the day that I added Cody to my notifications list. Before then, I only got my iPad only went beep anytime something important happened, and now I get a.
now there's so much more important stuff happening now.
Yeah, but and it's just all Cody Mack, Cody Mack, Cody Mack, Cody Mack, Cody Mack.
I mean,
That's okay.
with that win today, we're top of the league. Top of the league last year for a couple
dubs,
weeks.
boys, big
Top of the
dubs.
league early on. I'm getting kind of used to being top of the league. I'm getting kind of used to it, man. Getting kind of used to it.
Yeah,
being
top of the league.
Oh,
Top of
yeah.
the league,
And
man.
today I've been doing exercises and being positive, and as Cody knows, I did have to vomit a couple times today as I was doing it, but as they say in Varsity Blues, puke and rally. So
Translation: Will faked a bunch of positivity, and it went over the heads of a bunch of people that we chat with, and it was hilarious. And
I mean, I was saying absurdly positive things, and people were agreeing with me.
this is like literally like 12 to 18 hours after saying apparently like negative things. This is like there's a whole
Alleged negative.
there's a whole positive negative debate going on right now, and I don't know. I don't think that there's an easy way to just like put it to bed. But basically, like if I witness someone stabbing another person, and I say, "Hey, that guy stabbed someone," is that negative of me to say that? I say no, because that's a fact. And facts are not positive or negative. They are only facts. If you interpret them as positive or negative, the onus is on you. So like to say that Tottenham Hotspur don't have a deep squad, I mean it's the same as saying that that guy stabbed that guy. So,
I mean, if you're saying
everyone just wants people just want people to like get the pom-poms out and just be like, yeah, and you know what, I'm all for it. We support the same club, we all want us to win, but like to just like analyze the situation and spit facts it's not positive or negative.
But Cody, if you see someone stabbing someone, I think you shouldn't just stand there and say that man is stabbing them. You should probably call the police first.
yeah.
Yes, of course you would do that. I think he was making a reference to the truth statement of
Yeah,
he
I
was
get what you're
stabbed.
saying.
Right? It's like I don't know if people who are maybe in North America or from the United States. It was like when that CNN during the protests this past summer or a year ago, when the CNN reporter is standing there and there's a building on fire behind him and a car that had just exploded, and he was like, "It's mostly peaceful out here." right?
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the kind of positivity that I was expressing today. And
Steven Bergwijn scored 1 goal last year. Stop being so negative.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't choose whether or not the facts are positive or negative. If you feel like it's a negative thing to say about the club, it's because that's just a fact.
it's usually when they
No?
just don't like the answer or they disagree.
Yes. So anyways, we had over the top positive Will.
I was dying laughing, and then I vomited a couple times, and then I died laughing some more. There was one point where I literally said that I saw the ref laughing with Sissoko, so that proves that he's in Watford's pocket. And then he gave Harry a yellow card, and someone else said, "Yeah, it was a great challenge." When Harry Kane literally never touched the ball, slid in from behind and took the guy out, right? It was a clear yellow card. And the person was like, "Yeah, you're right, Will. That was a great challenge. It was a good challenge." I mean, I almost lost that. I almost lost it.
Well, we got the win. That's all that matters.
Only Tottenham fans could be negative after being top of the table. No, I'm just joking.
Well, I'm just following what Nuno said.
It's because we've seen it all. It's because we've seen it all.
Well, what did Nuno say today?
Yeah, he said the table doesn't mean anything. He is right. I mean, only Tottenham fans can get carried away with it. Every little thing, you know.
You
But,
imagine if Nuno came out and said we're a pony in a horse race.
Yeah, that's messed up. That's disrespectful now.
But that's like word for word what Jose said last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. He said those same words last year, and I'm just saying, yeah, it's kind of messed up. But I understand what he was saying, though. I understand what he was saying.
After the game, I was like, "We're top of the league. Where are Arsenal?" I was like, "Wait, I've said that before. Those words have come out of my mouth before."
Well, I don't mind saying that we're top of the league because technically we are top of the league, right? I don't have a problem with your statement. Now, I did make some comments this afternoon that we're going to be invincibles, the first ever perfect invincible, where we're going to go 38-0, scoring 38 goals and conceding none, and
Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer are just going to be solid at the back.
I mean, yeah, man, all we got to do is win the next 35 games, and we have the league. So, it's in our hands.
It's not that
If only it
difficult.
were that easy, boys.
hey, let's be positive. Be positive.
Do I get a moment to just sorry, do I get a moment to kind of explain the difference between the humors on both sides of the Atlantic?
The humors? Sure.
Well, the different types of humor, let's say. Will, it takes a little bit of time to get your sense of humor for people that haven't been involved in your channels, let's say, right? So for first timers who are, for example, like today, not really picking up on the little subtleties, the witticisms that you deliver. I didn't for the first week or two. I'll be honest, yeah. I thought, who's this grumpy old bald fella, And by the way, I'm older than you, but like it does take a little bit of time. I'm not saying we're less intelligent over here, but it's just a different type of humor. But at the same time, like if you go to Asia, it's more slapstick. In Britain, it's more kind of direct wit. In America, it's very kind of subtle and serious kind of humor. So, I think you have to take that into account. But that's the nice thing about channels like this is we all kind of get to understand each other's humor, and at the same time understand we all have the same love of the same club. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And David said it's good to hear you're the Irishman.
Who said that?
David.
Oh, Jesus! Well, there's Mr. Positive, David. Yeah, man. He always delivers. I gotta say, he's got a great charm about him, that fella, and he's very. I don't know. For a big lad, he's very soft and gentle at the same time, and he can get away with saying things that I couldn't.
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily say that David is always positive. He can be positive, but he can also be just as not positive. right? So,
But he's funny when he delivers his negativity. He's always humorous, about it. And maybe that's just me connecting with the Irish kind of humor again there. Same way I find that with Cody as well. I think Cody says incredibly negative things in a very amusing way, and it's fantastic. I love his Twitter feed. It's pure sarcasm. Piss off. Oh, Danny the Bun. What, is he back from Spain?
Yeah.
Are you back from Spain, Danny the Bun, or are you still in Spain just watching us while you're in Spain?
I was speaking to him on a Twitter space earlier on today.
Mr. Nick is also in the chat. Bob Marley. Aaron Gobra.
Yeah. It's an Irish word, Irish expression.
Yeah.
Gaelic.
Yeah. Shout out to David.
Is that like Agba Gobra? Is that like
Shout out
go
to him.
Scotland or go Ireland? Is that what that is?
No, I think it might mean airing abroad, beautiful Ireland. But don't ask me about Gaelic. I failed it in my high school exam. So, yeah, you'll need someone like Matty Hayes on to translate. I speak more German and Japanese than I do Gaelic, so you'd need a Matty Hayes or David Harris to translate that one. But all I know is airing abroad is an Irish expression. I think it might mean beautiful Ireland or something like that.
Like in Scotland, they say Abga Gobra or something like that, which means like long live Scotland or glory be
It
to
means Ireland forever. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. Thank you for putting me to shame. I can't even speak my own language.
It's the Irish version of Abga Gobra. Yeah, so I guess that works. Different pronunciations, and I'm probably not even pronouncing the Scottish one. Where's Ginty when I need him?
Yeah, where is Ginty? You haven't seen the guy for ages, man.
Ginty's taking some time off. He's been busy with some stuff, but he's still there. I talk to him every now and again on the old WhatsApp.
I will give him my regards. Yeah, he's sorely missed. Yeah, he's a good lad.
Yeah, we miss having Ginty on the show. Ginty, if you're out there listening, jump on here, fella.
Can you guys hear that?
Hear what? You talking? Yes, we can hear you.
No, not that. Like anything on the background.
I mean, there's a little bit of background noise. I can hear a little bit of fan.
Oh no, not that. All right. So it's not that. Because every time I come on a stream, my mom decides to wash the dishes and she drops the plate all the time, and it's annoying.
My mom, I don't live with my mom, but my wife does similar things. Whenever she realizes that I'm not in and around the house.
Tell us more about that, things. Will. Let me get my notepad. Would you like to lie down on a flat couch for me?
Flat couch? No. My wife. It's very simple. My wife has this thing where if I'm doing something that's important.
Did you just say your wife or your mom?
My wife.
Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I said it the first time. I said I don't live with my mom, but my wife. Who, when you've been married for 15, 16 years, it really kind of starts to become like your mother. To be honest with you.
Oh man.
You wouldn't know yet, Cody. You got a while to go. About another 10 years to go, my friend.
Oh, Chamu, but my Van Spurs is in here, Mr. Positive.
That's scary.
Hey, Chamu. Hey, I never got married, man. I've got a trail of ex-fiancés.
Don't ask me that I haven't a clue. What doesn't David have a clue? James Pittman in the chat. Shamu Van Spurs in the chat. Top of the league, and it feels so good. The only thing I'm really excited about, yes, I'm excited we won. If I were to be honest, I said I would have preferred a more convincing victory over Watford.
But like I don't necessarily hard disagree with what you're saying. But did you feel like 3 points was under duress at any point?
There were a couple times.
I know that we were fairly fortunate to score the way that we did. Yeah. But there were also probably 2 to 3 other chances that we should have buried. Right? Yeah. Deli had a chance he should have buried.
Kane
had a chance. Although
2 chances.
I did review Kane's chance on Lucas Moura's cross and the defender gets a touch.
Yeah, he took the ball out of it.
It's
Yeah.
really hard to blame Kane on that one, especially if you're a
The volley
Harry
that he
Kane
had
fan.
in the box. I mean, the keeper had a good save, so you can't really blame him for that either. But I mean, that was
But, like,
a good
what was the best-
opportunity.
What
Keeper
was
had
the
a
best
terrible
chance
game.
Watford had?
There were a couple.
I think it's when Sissoko drove by the sideline and he gave a little pass to Sar, and then Sar took a
Yeah,
shot.
that one.
Yeah, you guys remember that?
In the
That
first
was-
half,
they did,
Lloris had to make a couple saves. I mean, were any of them super difficult? No, but they, if Watford were a little bit more, I think if it would have been Dennis, they would have taken those shots.
One of you guys surprised that Mr. Sissoko started?
No, because that was part of the deal, wasn't it? That he was allowed to play on the weekend if we sold him.
No, it was part of the deal. Spurs put a clause in there that made sure he played.
Just that trademark finish into row Z, boys.
Yeah.
Poundland. I don't know what that refers to. I know what that would
It's
refer to.
it's like
here.
the $1 shop.
Dollarama.
Ah, got you. It has a different meaning here in the United States. It does it matter? I'm guessing does matter. Does it matter if you win 1-0 or 5-0? It's still only 3 points. Watford were blunt up front.
Yes, it
matter?
matters.
Yes, it matters.
I think it does
because
matter.
at the end of the season, if we finish top of the Premier League on equal points with Manchester City, and their goal difference is better, they're going to be Premier League champions on goal difference. But
Yeah.
I,
What about
I-
head to head? Does
I
head to
don't.
head
I don't think that's a scenario that we have to
Yeah.
worry about. And I
Goal
don't think
differentials before head to head.
Oh, okay, cool.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but forgetting the kind of the mathematics of it all, we want to see goals. We want to see free flowing football. We want to see the ball flying into the net as often as possible. And look, we'll allow Nuno the 1-0s for now, but we want to start winning 2-3-0. We want to see entertainment at the lane. We don't want to be suffering 1-0s and and sitting on the edge of our seat like chewing our fingernails for the rest of the season. We want to see the goals flying in.
I already said it, David. I said that we were going 38-0-0. Perfect invincibles.
Why don't we just end the season here? Nobody watched the Premier League anymore. It just ends here. We win the league. Arsenal get relegated. It's all good.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Sissoko's shot was classic Sissoko. So that's...
Oh, it's fantastic, man. It was a great conversion if he was playing American football.
And we've got Kieran here from Spurs After Dark. I always screw your new name up, dude.
Oh, that's all right. Good
No,
to
it's
see you
not.
guys.
Hey,
It's not
Kieran.
all right.
Hey,
What's up, man? What's going on?
good stuff. Appalachian cousin.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, I've been having some internet issues since I moved out here to the mountains. So
Stop the count. Stop the count.
stop the count.
That's right. Mr. Nick and Shamu Van Spurs. Yeah, I think I said that on We Are Tottenham TV last week. I'm glad we didn't stop the count last week. We definitely need to stop the count this week, though.
Yeah, it's already perfect. We won the league.
Definitely need to stop the count right now. Then Arsenal gets relegated, and we win the league. Yeah. But I mean, anything. I mean, Son's goal. I don't know about the commentators from where you guys were at, but the commentators that we had here in the States. I mean, the guy pretty much said, where Son needed to place it, and Son placed it right there, and it just happened to bounce right in front of the keeper and curve right into the back of the net.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
well,
we
over
watched
here.
the-
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Dan.
No, you can go.
I was just going to say, like, over here, the commentators that I saw on whatever it's called, Premier TV, UK commentator said it was a fantastic free kick in the danger zone. The goalie didn't know whether to come or stay. He didn't know what to do. And obviously Sonny wasn't going for it, but he whipped it into such a dangerous area. So they were pretty, impressed with the free kick. They thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I think it was the run of Dele Alli, and that I can't remember who the other guy who was that was running on to that far post
I think it
at
might
that
have been
time.
Stevie B.
But they kind of their runs in kind of froze the keeper because he was kind of he hesitated because he was waiting for them to get a foot on it, and when they didn't get there, it just kind of bounced over his arm and into the the side netting.
It was crazy placement too. It bounced right in like the back. I guess if you're looking from the keeper's perspective, it would be like the back left corner of the 6 inches off the line. It was just incredible placement.
Had some good spin to it too. I mean,
Hey, Colin's on board.
what's going on, Mr. Talking Ball?
Living the dream, man. I'm in dream world right now. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, it had enough spin on it that it was headed right to, that if somebody, it had enough spin on it that it was dipping enough that if somebody got a foot on it, they would have had a good opportunity, and if they didn't, it was headed towards the far post anyway. So
Yeah.
It's a perfect spin, a lot of pace on it. I feel like
bullshit. It was a bullshit goal. We
got lucky that the goalkeeper froze.
Honestly, that keeper reacted worse than Joe Hart. Joe Hart probably saves that.
No, Cody, that's down into his left. He can't get anywhere close to those. He can't get anywhere close.
I could have saved that.
I mean, it wasn't. If you were focusing only on the shot, it's not a hard save. But when you're focusing on the runners and the shot, like trying to predict what's going to happen, is Dele going to get there? Is he going to put a foot on it? Is he not going to put a foot on it? That's why he hesitated. And once he realized that nobody was going to get there, it was too late, right? Because it had enough pace on it. So it was a good. I don't think Sun necessarily intended to score.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, we lose our minds. I'm sure they lose their minds as well. They lost their minds as well. But I don't Sun necessarily intended to score. I think he intended to put it as close to that far post as possible, so somebody could get in and put a foot on it. Sure, it would. There was a matter of luck, and to be honest with you, I don't know if the luck of the Irish is starting to rub on Tottenham Hotspur, thanks to David and Matt Hayes, but
and you can't forget Aaron.
And Aaron Dove.
No, geez, man, I'm not lucky. Trust me, I'm not lucky. But I will say one thing though. Tommy from Tommy Talks Ball, yeah.
Yeah.
He was behind with his phone recording Sonny's goal, right? He
got such a good video. Yeah.
He got 125,000 views already.
Well, it's because he has all those Korean tags on it. It's because he has all the
unbelievable amount.
So all the Korean fans are seeing it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of it's actually been a trend. So Stell had a video, I think, last week when Sun scored, and it was just the crowd's reaction. And for people that don't know, who can't read Korean, there's when you start looking at search criteria, Koreans seem to be very interested in what foreigners think, right? Their response to Sun's goals and stuff like that. So there's an interest in there. It's actually a fairly commonly searched search term. I'm a nerd like that, so I look up search terms. But that's awesome. So Still had that video. He got like 80,000 views in the first 24 hours. And then Tommy and I think Jamie asked him if they could clip the video, and they did it. And I think Jamie ended up getting like 80,000. Tommy got maybe like 10,000. And so then so Tommy went to the match today, and he was prepared, right? And just happened to be sitting right where, I mean, it's like perfect storm, right? You couldn't have gotten a better, only if he was maybe 5 or 6 rows more, closer to the pitch would it have been any better than it was. And just happened to be right place, right time. 100,000 views. There you go. I think got like 200-300,000
views.
Huh?
Well, and it was 125 an hour ago, man.
It'll probably be like 200K tomorrow, I'm sure.
Wow, that's good.
I feel like
he's been doing his channel for a long time, so it's well deserved.
The thing is, like I don't want to make it about like who does more or what, but Tommy has deserved 1K subs for a long time now, and it's been in some respects as a fan of his channel, it's been frustrating to watch him like not get there as early as possible. He hit 1K earlier today, and he's already up to 1.22K. It's great. It's so refreshing, and yeah, he's only looks like he's about 5 rows deep on this video.
He had
so-
he had some great seats, man. Those must have been
Like,
hard
who
to
does
come by.
Tommy know?
All right.
Tommy
I wanna
sucks
get in.
balls.
I think he said he got some like I think he said he got like some last minute seats or something like that. Because if you remember, he had it he posted in the chat like, well, what do I do with this? Do I print it out or do I do whatever I got?
See, Cody, you lumped all that praise on them, and then you had to dig them out real quick just to.
I know.
You know,
it makes for a
break
great
even.
clip. It makes for a great clip. You start, it's like 60 seconds long, and in the same 60
Right.
seconds.
And it reloads exactly right. Like he's probably done. If you were to go look at his channel, he's probably been doing his channel for about 2 years, right? He had a different name, changed the name to try to broaden the audience to a bigger appeal in order to try to gain followers. Finally started getting some traction, I think about, I don't know, like maybe about a month ago or something. And you know, 1 30-second video blows you up. I mean, that's just how the way YouTube works, right? So
Must start recording
The
30
oldest
second
video
videos.
on his channel right now, it says it's 6 months old. So
it's older than that. He had a channel for at least 6 months when I started, which was 6 months ago.
I'm just telling you what I see. There's
Yeah,
there's no video on here that says older than 6 months.
Yeah, no, he's been around for at least a year.
You know, the nice thing about Tommy is he's not controversial. He'll always listen to people's opinions, and you know,
he's a good lad.
he's a nice fella, and he'll pop up on Mary's channel or Colin's channel at like 4 a.m. UK time, and yeah, you know, he's a decent bloke. You know, unlike you, Will, you're just in there for the debate half the time. just kidding, man. Oh, Will, I didn't offend you, did I? I thought you didn't get offended, man.
Why would I get defended?
Offended.
Why would I get offended?
Michael Jordan
mess
is
up.
not the greatest player.
Don't start it. Don't start it.
Hey,
Don't
I went to his channel today, and there was nothing you're saying he deletes the lives after each one?
Yeah.
That sucks. I guess I gotta catch one. That means I gotta subscribe, and I don't want to, but I will. So
Colin, are you on?
Don't
are you on your
subscribe.
phone?
Just troll.
I'm on these stupid headphones. So I'm doing home. Is it sound terrible?
It sounds terrible. No, it doesn't sound terrible. Did I say it sounds terrible? No, it doesn't sound terrible.
No. Okay.
Speaking about Mr. Positivity,
It doesn't sound as good as it usually does.
Oh,
Mr.
the
Marcelo is in the
man.
house.
what?
We
Oh,
are
Marcelo,
top of
the
the
hype
league.
man.
We are
Yeah.
top of the league. We are 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 top of the league. Fuck Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal. Fuck Arsenal.
Come on.
Yeah, did you see that meme of the Borat one? This is my
yeah,
neighbor
Cody posted
Norwich.
Have
He
you seen the
lose
one?
5-0. I lose 5-0. You win 6-0. I win 6-0.
I scored a Premier League goal. He cannot score
He
Premier
loves
League
the Premier
goal.
League goal.
Great success.
That was great, Cody. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Did
that
you see
had
the
me
one from-
dying.
Did you see the one from Henry Wright? That it was like showed a picture of Dele Alli, my number 20, and then it showed a picture of the table, your number 20.
Yeah, that was great. Oh
That
man.
was perfect.
I will say this. Although I am buzzing about that win, and you know, like always, Spurs win, Arsenal lose. It's a great weekend. It's a fantastic weekend. I got drunk, but
Congratulations.
I still think we need a couple more signings. I like.
Yeah.
I think honestly, and this is just not biased speaking, but like I think we do look better under Nuno than under Jose. I think fitness wise, we're much better. But I think one thing we have with Jose that we don't have with Nuno right now is with Jose, we were lethal, man. You know, when we hit people's goals, like we were scoring a lot of goals, believe it or not, under Jose. I feel like with Nuno, we need to start taking our chances more.
I think part of that is because under Jose, Son and Kane were the only two ever in a position to score. You know, so, and I mean, they're the most clinical finishers on the team.
But we need, you know, but that's what we need, you know, people to start stepping up. And I know people are saying, oh, this game screamed out for Adama. This game, like, I didn't look at that. I thought, like, this game screams out for another goal scorer. We need another guy on the pitch that can score some goals. You know,
we still can't break down a low block.
Man.
I think we just needed to start Lucas instead of Bergwijn because he would have added a little bit of.
But Lucas coming off the bench was such a good. I mean, like I love seeing him against, you know, his fresh legs against some tired defenders. I'll never get tired. You know what I mean? I feel like he's got so much to offer coming off the bench just for that reason alone.
I think when he came off the bench though, he just didn't have enough time to really affect the game. I feel like
the thing is, Kieran,
we probably would have been up 2-3-0.
You can't play Lucas you can't play him repeatedly. Yeah, because the way Lucas plays, it's very high intense. You know, he runs a lot on the pitch, and if you play him a lot, he kind of runs out of steam. You kind of saw that with Jose.
3 games into the season, man. Yeah, you know,
no,
like he should be able.
Yeah, it's early days. Yeah,
it's good to switch it up. I didn't mind the switch up between him and Bergwijn. I mean, obviously, the issue is those two just don't score goals, or they don't have the creativity. You know, we need somebody like Eriksen. We're screaming out for someone like Eriksen. I agree with
where would they play?
Aaron.
Well, I think Hill's going to be. I think a lot of creativity is going to come from him.
Where would they play? You'd have to change the formation.
Well, it doesn't have to be someone from midfield. You know, there's wingers that are very creative. We just need creative
even Eriksen
player.
used to start out wide with the way that the lineup was, and then he would drift in centrally. So
he played left. He played.
You don't have to go with a fixed formation in every game. You can mix it up with the players you have. You know, depending on who you're playing.
Yeah, if we can get a winger that can mix it up, that can, you know, maybe go out wide, go out in the middle, and just create something, some magic, man. I mean, look at Neymar. He's a winger, but he's one of the best at it, creating magic, man. He's
one of the best players in the whole world, though.
Yeah, he can find a pass, but he can find a pass from anywhere. You know, it doesn't have to be a creative midfielder. We just need a creative player in general.
We need someone on the right wing, somebody who can, old school, run down the right wing, get the ball in to Harry Kane. Like, we don't have somebody that spreads the play out wide and the right at the moment.
I know people are not going to like this, but Gio Lo Celso was that player before he came to Spurs.
He wasn't, though. He was a second striker.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
he would play behind a striker.
He's Dele's position.
Yeah, but
that's not where Dele's playing now.
Passing quality, and he was still a more creative player at Betis than he's been allowed to be at Tottenham because we constantly play him deeper.
I think we need to start. I think once Romero is fit and once Romero gels with the team, because that's what I think Nuno is doing. That's why he hasn't played Romero. I think once Romero gels with the team, you either do a back three with them, like we did with Atalanta, have wing backs. Fucking have the wings back spread out, and we have Son Kane up front.
I think that's the plan, Marcelo. I think that's what Nuno's working towards. I think it's just a matter of getting Romero fit, getting him used to the team, and getting other guys fit, and getting certain ideas across to the squad. I mean, he said in the post-game interview today that they asked him how close are we to what he wants from this team, and he said nowhere close. Not even close. So, I think the formation will shift. I think the 4-3-3 is just about balance, maintaining some semblance of balance and stability with the squad that he currently has.
I got to interrupt, right? Because when we're talking about players and the players that we need, we have to do it from the scope of what Nuno has shown us so far, right? So unless Nuno completely changes up the formation, what he's doing now, and the reason why we are unbalanced now is because we're playing a 4-3-3 with 2 holding mids.
Yeah.
Right. So we are down 1 creative player in the midfield. What would have been a better option would to see, Son out on the left, Lucas on the right, and Bergwijn in Skip's spot, right, on that right-handed side, right? Because basically what we're doing is we're playing a lopsided 4-3-3 that's sometimes a 4-2-3-1, sometimes a 3-5-2, sometimes a 3-4-3 it's unbalanced. We don't have balance right now. And that's what Nuno is saying, is that we don't have balance and we need balance. And that's why he wants to bring in Adama Traore and some other
I just don't see how Adama Traore brings the balance that we need. I mean, I think we can all
He's a rugby
agree
player.
that
He's a rugby player.
Yeah, he is a rugby player. He looks like
but we can all agree that Adama Traore is extremely effective. If you've seen that game today, Wolves against Man U,
they lost.
No, he was great.
They lost.
You mean impact?
That's unfair.
But they still lost.
No, that's unfair.
What do you mean? They still lost.
Did they lose?
If he was effective,
did they lose because of Adama Traore though?
To Spurs he did. No, to Spurs he did. He should have scored that.
Trincao, he had an open net. He took forever, and he somehow let Wan-Bissaka saved it on the clearance.
Yeah. Also, Jimenez had a terrible whiffed shot, like inside of the foot, just went off to the side. I mean, Adama Traore had nothing to do with why Wolves lost.
The only reason I see us bringing
Come on.
The
Also,
only
that
reason,
Man U team.
No.
Player
The only
for player,
reason,
the quality gap is massive.
No. The only reason I see Adama Traore coming into this Spurs side is if we're going to play him right wing back. There is no way this guy is going to be our main right back. We need a goal scorer, man.
I agree.
We do.
We
need some goals, man. Where's the goals going to come from?
Here's what I think. Adama.
It's not Adama Traore.
For one thing, I only see Adama making an impact in certain games for Tottenham Hotspur. I see him making an impact on games where we are setting up to counterattack. I don't see Adama Traore as a player that we can use to break down the likes of Watford, who are playing in that low block with like 8-9 players behind the 18-yard line. The thing is, the price that Wolves are asking for this player, he should be making an impact in every single game. So that is the case for me against Adama Traore. He brings value to the pitch in different ways for Wolves and whatnot.
He gets 2 assists a season.
But we're Tottenham Hotspur. I just don't see how we get value out of, considering the price that Wolves are asking. I just don't see how we get value out of bringing Adama here, personally.
I would honestly rather get Neves, their number 8, for 45 million to 50 million than Adama Traore. 100%.
I agree with you.
Neves would 100% be a better fit for Tottenham right now. We need a number 8. We need someone. We need someone that can break lines, control tempos, that can hold the ball. Just keep it steady, keep it clean, keep it neat. Like you look at every great team right now. They have Chelsea, they have Jorginho, Kovacic. They keep it nice, neat. They got Henderson and Liverpool, nice and neat. We used to have Dembele. It wasn't until Dembele was gone we saw really how effective he was. Players that just keep it nice and neat, get the ball moving, break down lines, break defenses with just a pass. Like those guys, the number 8s, they're crucial to the team. They go unnoticed, but like they're almost a spine. It's almost like the skulls of the United. You need players like that.
Yeah,
we have no one like that.
I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys something here.
We were supposed to have a guy who was supposed to be that. He was a record signing, but
spent a lot of money.
Hold on. Check this out. So I'm gonna throw this on my screen. It may be small because my screen's small. I'm not gonna throw it for everybody, but Just so you guys know that I'm not pulling this out of my a-hole, right? Our goal conversion rate right now is 12%.
Is it? Because I can't see shit.
Yeah, I can't see that at
If
all.
you zoom in, I can see
What
it.
you say is what we're gonna believe.
yeah.
You can tell us some bullshit. We'll believe you. I can't see, but I'll believe you.
And our big chances per game are 1, and our big chances missed per game are 0.7. Total shots per game is 8.7, and shots on target is 5.7. But yeah, that's for Tottenham as a whole, and for Adamatore by himself.
I can't pronounce this.
Okay. For me personally, I think we need a right winger. If it's Adama Traore, I don't know. I think Adama, he doesn't have that finishing project. I don't think he has that.
We already got 2 right wingers. We need a number 8.
Yeah, but the right wingers can't finish to save their life.
But like, okay, so we're gonna bring Adama Traore, who gets like.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't want Adama Traore.
Paul Anderson.
Okay, fair enough.
Paul Anderson. Berardi, Domenico Berardi. I've been saying it for months. It's not going to happen, but.
Bro, you can send out all the stats you want. Adama Traore, he looks pretty. You know, you watch him, you're like, whoa, look at that dribble, look at that, but it's not effective. It's just not. It's not effective.
So, how do you justify the fact that one person is averaging as many big chances per game as our entire team is averaging per game?
Because his goals and his assists, it's the proof in the pudding. It's not effective. If it was effective, if he was a 45 to 50 million pound player, he should be getting at least 10 assists a season. There is no way. You can't tell me it's effective. It's just pretty. It just looks pretty. It's not effective.
Hold on. You see,
Neves is effective.
Hold on. If he puts that ball into the center spot or the penalty spot like he did against us, and that's Harry Kane instead of Jimenez, you don't think Harry Kane puts that away instead of Jimenez missing?
That is hugely disrespectful
very,
to
very
Raul
well
Jimenez.
Raul Jimenez is a great striker.
Jimenez Harry Kane?
Raul Jimenez is amongst the, I would say, the top third strikers in the Premier League.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I mean, not to be disrespectful, because I agree. Up until now, I mean, he was that. Will he be able to reach those heights again after that
but what are you
horrific injury?
You got to realize, Will.
But you're comparing past Adama Traore stats to the projection of what
the last time Jimenez. Hold on.
Yeah,
the last time Jimenez was fit, Adama Traore had 9 assists. I'm just saying.
Yeah, in 2019, 2020, he had 9 assists. Last season, he had 4 and scored 2. Now, that would obviously improve. It was
Jimenez was out all of last season, right? He got injured in October.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with you on this one, Will. Yeah.
So if we're saying that Adama Traore is not effective, but they didn't have a striker last season at all, right? And now he's not. You can't say that Jimenez is back to his old form because he hasn't scored yet. So what is to say that if that's Harry Kane playing with Harry Kane and Son, you're telling me that Neto and Neves and Jimenez are equal to Harry Kane and Son Heung-min? I'm sorry, I disagree.
We need. Okay, you can't sit here and say, "Oh, we're missing someone like Bale who had 15 goals," and then say you want Adama Traore at the right wing. Like, we need, if we're going to get a right winger, he needs to score goals. Simple as. If we want just players that can dribble and run the ball, that's why you have Lucas Moura. That's why we have Bergwijn. That's why we go insane. Trust me, if Traore comes in here, you're gonna complain about the same thing that you complain about Lucas and Bergwijn. What we need right now, and what I see that we desperately need, is a number 8. First of all, we need a number 8. Period. We need either I don't rate him as much. I know my friend here, Brian. I saw him in the comment section. But by the way, big up Brian. But I know Brian bigs him up. James Ward-Prowse. I think he's a decent number 8. I would take him someone over Traore. We need someone
that can 50 million pounds.
I would rather spend money on him than Traore.
I think James
I
Ward-Prowse.
agree. No, listen, I agree with that. But for £50 million, are you sure?
We're
that,
gonna. That's what Wolves want for
But
Traore.
But then we're not going to pay them that. If we
No,
get
50
Traore,
million's
we're
outrageous
definitely
for
paying
Traore.
less
Like,
than
what is
40
the
million.
argument? If you're saying that we won't pay 50 million for Traore, then you
Yes.
shouldn't be comparing him to the cost of James Ward-Prowse, right?
The difference is James Ward-Prowse is an English player at a position where there's a premium. Creative number 8s. Also, he's a free kick specialist.
Yeah.
And there aren't really many good free kick specialists around these days.
James
He
Ward-Prowse
comes
just signed a new
that
contract
is not a
in
no.
Southampton.
Exactly.
We could
Just
pretty
signed a
much
new
write him
contract,
off
which
entirely.
means that price is completely
No.
non-negotiable.
I'm not saying we're gonna get James Ward-Prowse. I'm just saying I would rather have someone like him.
I would rather have a lot of people, but I'm talking. I'm trying to be realistic as to who we can get. Is Traore better than Lucas Moore?
I say we get AOR. If we're talking about realistic,
No, hold on.
go for AOR.
That wasn't the question. The question was, is Traore better than Lucas Moore?
Honestly,
No, I would say not. No,
no,
he's
How
not.
so? He's about 5 times
Lucas
as
Moore-
technical, 5 times as tactical.
Lucas Moore won. He's won titles at PSG. He was a PSG starter. He's played at the highest stage in Champions League football, scored at the highest stage in Champions League football. He's had way more goals than Traore. Lucas Moore's best season, he has had more goals than Traore. His dribbling, Traore is better at dribbling. No. Lucas Moore's best season, 100% he had more goals than Traore. Lucas Moura, best first season at Spurs. I think he scored how many Premier League goals? Was it like 9 or something?
I'm not sure how many goals he scored, but I'm with you on the fact that Lucas Moura is better than Traore. But if you're gonna compare Lucas Moura to being at PSG, that's the reason why. I don't think that'd be the reason why, because you also have to remember Adama Traore played for Barcelona. So,
he wasn't a starter in Barcelona. Like Lucas was a staple part of PSG. The only reason Lucas left.
That's a farmers league. That he didn't do anything of note in the Champions League with PSG.
Wait, do any of us actually want Traore? Because I'm kind of confused as to why we're arguing this right now. Because I think none of us actually want him to come in. So
I don't think he's got the finishing product.
Will seems to want him. I don't think he's the guy.
I didn't say I wanted him.
Yeah, because I've never heard Will say he wanted him before. So I'm like, what is even the contention right now? Like,
there's a price which I think all of us would take him, and for me personally, it is pretty much half of what Wolves are asking.
Yeah, like
20
million.
Seriously, if we pay more for Adama Traore than Liverpool paid for Diogo Jota, we cannot make fun of Arsenal's window anymore as a fan base. And,
we can.
No,
they bought
hold on.
No, they bought Ramsdale and they bought Ben White.
Hold on.
No, they bought Ben White for more than Manchester United bought Cristiano Ronaldo. You could bench them all.
That is.
Hold on. The most attacking returns that Lucas Moura has ever had in a single season for Tottenham Hotspur is 10.
I'm talking about goals. About goals.
Okay, so goals
only
matters about goals.
At the end of the day, it's putting the ball behind the net. That's
so assists don't count then?
Assists don't count. It has to count.
Yeah.
It has to
Moore
count.
has assists.
It has to count.
No, that
Moura
season he
has
had 10
assists.
goals. He had 0 assists.
Okay, in this first season with Spurs. He has 10 Premier League
guys, let's
and
just
0 assists.
let's take 2 seconds. Dan has to go. Let's let
Yeah,
Dan
I've got to
say
go.
goodbye.
My curfew is reached my curfew.
Let us know where you
Curfew?
we can find you, Dan.
He's got
Only
his
in
first day of
America.
school
Huh?
tomorrow.
I've got school tomorrow.
Oh, fair enough.
Sadly.
He's only 13, man. He's got a bedtime.
But look, guys, thank you, Will, for having me on. I've always loved being on these post-match and pre-match fan shows. I'm happy being top of the league, but let's not get carried away. We only are 3 games into the season, and a lot of teams are getting reinforced as we talk. So just keep an eye out for the teams behind us. But look, come on, you Spurs.
Hey, take care, Dan. Good seeing you, buddy.
See you, Dan.
Good to see you, Dan.
Yeah, man. Wear your Spurs colours to school tomorrow, man.
All right.
Yeah, so in the 18-19 season, Lucas Moura had 10 goals.
I think I'm telling you, Will, I think you read too much into stats sometimes. I think you need to watch Traore play more. No, I truly do. I think
watched him
sometimes
play.
I think no.
He's
You said the
faster
same
than
thing.
more.
No,
Hold on,
You said the same thing
Marcelo.
about Gil. You said the
Hold
same thing
on.
about Gil. I'm telling
And was
you,
I wrong
this
about
guy,
Gil?
Yeah, no, you were. You said, oh, why are we signing him? I told you he's a great prospect. Sometimes you got to stop.
When did I
looking at
say
just
he
the stats,
wasn't a good
and you just got to
prospect?
watch the football. The guy
I
is
don't
just
think
a
he's
lovely
been
player.
proved necessarily wrong because Brian Heel had a good game against 5th place in Liga NOS, Pacos de Ferreira. I mean, come on. Like, he was playing
Brian
for Sevilla in
Wait,
Liga, in
how
La
many
Liga,
minutes has
so,
Brian
like,
Hill had in the Premier League?
that's below his previous level.
Man,
you know,
How many minutes?
I don't think he's proved
Four.
anything yet.
4 minutes. But I'm telling
I
you,
didn't
you
get a
watch that
touch.
kid
Okay, so
play.
how have I been proven wrong?
No, you watch that kid play. You will be proven wrong. You will be.
Yeah, I
Wait,
agree
wait,
with Marcelo.
how
I think
many-
the guy's got a
hold
bit
on.
of quality, man.
How
He's
many
got
games?
quality.
Hold on. Right, you're making an assertion here, and you're wrong. How many matches did he start in the Olympics? How many?
I think
He didn't start for any.
None.
He was a substitute.
Nah, he came on.
Okay.
He came on and he made a difference.
Okay.
though.
He made a difference. And you
Okay.
can see. No,
In
okay.
the U23 side, he made a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
and
what you're.
Yeah.
Is that
You're
the
Well,
Premier
this
League?
is your problem.
Hold
But
on.
this is what
Is
I'm
that the
but
Premier
you're proving
League?
my point.
Hold
But
on.
you're proving my point.
No, I'm not.
You're just looking at stats. You're looking
Is that
at
the Premier
like,
League?
numbers. And you're
No,
looking
I'm
at
looking
this.
at the coefficients of the league.
He's played for
watch-
the Spanish national
Hold
team
on.
3
Just
times.
play. Just watch the
Okay.
kid play. Look at the talent, and you can see there is skill in that. There's
Did I
skill
say
in
he
the
had no
kid.
skill?
The kid
He's
is
a
going
baller.
to be a baller.
That is a
You
red
can
herring and a
see it,
straw
man.
man.
You're acting
Red
like
herring
Will,
and a straw man.
Yeah, you're acting
Did
like
I
you
ever
said the
say
guy's
that he didn't have
trash.
talent?
But you but you kept
Did I
bringing
ever
him
say
down.
he had talent?
But you kept bringing him down. Like
Did
it
I
was a
bring him
bad
down? How did I
signing.
bring him down?
Because
Did
you
I say
kept-
it was
you
a
kept-
bad signing?
You kept
No, hold on.
acting-
You're making an
no, but your
assertion.
mannerism. No, your
No,
mannerism.
because you don't
says
like
it's
the
a bad
truth.
signing.
No, it's not my mannerism.
No, it's your mannerism.
It's
Yes,
not my
it is.
mannerism. It's not.
It's
You're
your
wrong,
mannerism.
Marcelo. You're wrong.
Your mannerism. You're not
Marcelo.
okay, the first thing you
You
say is
you
why
are-
are we signing Brian Gill? Like what do you mean?
Right.
That's
Why are we
completely
signing-
your mannerism?
I said what I said was, why are we signing players for the future when we need players now? Was Eric Lamela? Hold on. Answer the question, yes or no. It's a very simple question. Was
I'm not going
Eric
to answer any
Lamela?
question.
Well, then why are you even making statements that are absolutely absurd?
What's the
I'll
question?
Because
answer
your
your
mannerism
question,
already
Mark. Give
shows
us the
it.
question.
My
No, no.
mannerism is towards your absurd questions, not Brian Hill.
All right,
No,
what's the
Brian
question?
Hill. The first
lads, come
the
on.
first time.
Yeah,
no,
hold
no,
on.
no.
Listen,
Aaron,
When we
Aaron,
first
don't
signed
interrupt.
Brian Hill,
Will
when we
or
first signed
Marcelo,
Brian
shut the
Hill,
fuck
it's already
up
on the
and let these
stats,
guys
and
talk.
you're already like negative, and you're like, why are we signing someone? We need someone here now. It's called the painful rebuild for a reason. You can't skip the pain. You know, like you want to
In
skip
a
the pain.
rebuild, are we rebuilding our academy or are we rebuilding our first team?
In 3 years' time, Brian Gill's going to be
Okay,
a top
so how
baller,
does
man.
that help? Okay, so my point was, and my thing of being against Brian Hill, how does Brian Hill help us this season? Not 3 years from now. I'm not talking about. We can worry about 3 years from now,
Well, I
three
mean,
transfer windows
well,
from now.
We do.
I'm
we
talking
do,
about
we
this
do need
This is
season.
quality
the
players that
rebuild.
can play in the Europa
But-
Conference League.
but
Everyone,
so we're not
Will
rebuilding this
Marcelo,
season.
Shut the fuck up.
No.
We're not
but-
rebuilding this season. Then.
What?
Because, Will, it's called a long, painful rebuild. It takes over time. Brian
Okay.
Hill helps
Did I say?
Tottenham
Hold on.
over
Stop.
time. He is
Stop.
part of the rebuild.
Okay. Did I say that he was not a good prospect for the future? Have I ever said that?
You sure don't act like it.
Have
you
I
sure
ever
don't
said
act like
that?
you say,
Yes or no?
Whether
Yes
you said it or not, your
or
body language
no?
and your tone.
No.
What does body language and
no
tone have to do with my argument?
No.
The way you present every time you talk about him, it's always in a negative connotation.
What's negative?
You always just try to bring it up.
What
like,
have I said that is actually negative?
Okay, you're gonna let me answer the question.
Yes.
You're always bringing up the stats. Oh, why are we signing Brian Hill? He doesn't even start for the Spanish league. Oh, look at his stats.
Did he start
his
for?
stats is not very
Hold on.
many. Oh, he doesn't
Hold
have a lot
on.
of minutes.
Hold the fuck on. Did
It's
he
all
start
negative.
Did he start for the Olympics in the U23 Spanish team? Yes or no?
No, he didn't.
Yes or no?
No, he didn't.
So how is that
I
negative?
answered your
That is simple.
question.
That is a simple factual statement.
No,
It's not
because
negative.
you're just bringing up negative points as
How
to
is that
why
negative? That's
as to why it's a
factual,
bad
Marcelo.
signing.
That is factual.
No, you're just bringing
is
up
it
points.
Is it true or false?
You can listen.
Is it true or false?
Okay,
Facts are not negative or positive. Facts are fucking facts.
No, facts. Listen, stats.
Is it true or false?
Stats. I'm not gonna. Okay, shut up. Stats
Don't tell me to
always
shut up. Is
stats
it
don't
true
always
or
tell-
false?
No, because you're talking over me.
Chill out.
Stats
You're talking
don't
over
tell
me. You won't answer
everything.
the question.
I already answered all your questions. I'm tired of answering all your questions. Stats doesn't tell everything. Sometimes you just need to watch the player, watch the game, and just say, you know what, this guy is going to be quality. It doesn't matter whether he starts for Spain every season, every time, or he's just 19.
Can you prove that he's going to be quality?
Factually, honestly, no. But
Okay.
my eyes don't lie, and I know football.
Yes, they do lie.
And I'm telling you, no, they don't. My
Yes, they
eyes don't
do.
lie. No, they don't. My eyes don't lie. You
Yes,
also
they do.
said this was the man that brought all the facts that the Super League was going to happen, and then it didn't happen. Guess what? And I was the one that was called
I never
emotional.
said it was going to happen.
I was the one that was called passionate. I was the one that was called all
Not
this.
true, Marcelo.
Yes, I was. Yes, you were.
No,
you and
no.
Brian were taking
When did
the
I
piss
say
out of
it's
me
going
all
to
stream.
happen? I said it's unavoidable.
You
the
said
Super League dead?
unavoidable. You said
the
it's
Super League dead?
unavoidable. You said, it's gonna
Is the
happen.
Super League
The
dead?
fans have no power. And I said, listen, fans do have power.
Is the Super League dead?
It's not completely dead, but it didn't happen.
Then I'm
did
not
it?
wrong.
You
guys
said
got
no. You were
60
wrong.
seconds.
You said it was gonna
60
happen. You
seconds
said it was gonna happen.
to
I
figure
told you
your
it
shit out,
wasn't.
and then
I
I'm
told
gonna
you the
unmute
fans were
everybody
gonna do
else.
it.
60
You
seconds.
don't need
Thank you.
sometimes you don't need the stats doesn't always tell the story. Sometimes you can look at a player and you can see there's quality in that. And if you get him
Have
a
I
good
ever said
manager,
that Brian Hill
and you
doesn't have
get-
quality?
no, but
Then who are you arguing with?
No, because
Then why are you bringing it up?
Because you just keep bringing facts against the poor lad. Like, how about
No,
just like
I don't
back
bring
him up
facts
for
against
once?
him. I
You
say what the
understand
facts
what
are.
a fact is, right?
But the thing is, how about you say you look at the guy play, right? Before you just look at the stats, you actually look at him play and
Have
you
I
say,
seen him play
you
in the
know
Premier
what? No,
League, Marcelo?
No. What about you kept saying about
Have
the
I seen
Spanish
him
league?
play
No.
in the Premier
how
League, Marcelo?
How about you kept talking about the Olympics, right? You kept talking
Yes.
about the stats, but you actually didn't even bother talking about his performances of
Are
when he
the
actually
Olympics
entered the
at the
game.
same level as the Premier League?
You didn't even watch. Okay, is the championship the same level as the Premier League?
No.
No, it's not, right? But guess what? Guys like Andy Robertson came from it, right?
Okay.
It's the under 23s the same level in the Olympics, the same level as the Premier League? No, right?
No.
But we're going for Emerson Royale. Guess what? He was in the Olympic team, right? You wouldn't want Jonathan,
Okay.
that kid from the Brazilian national team? Like, you would. He's a talented player. Just because it does not the same level doesn't mean it completely excludes
What-
them.
Marcelo,
You can still look at a player
Marcelo,
that has
you're
talent.
arguing
Just
against
watch
claims.
the game.
Marcelo, you're arguing against claims I have never made.
You are never going to win this fight because you are trying to tell Will that he cannot use facts to back up.
No,
his
he
argument.
can use facts, but like sometimes
Yeah, but the
it's
thing is,
over.
your
Sometimes
main-
he looks.
main
No.
point-
Sometimes he looks
No.
facts.
Your main
Sometimes
point
he just
so
looks
far
at the
has been
stats.
you used facts.
No, he uses stats all the time, right?
But
Instead,
stats are-
sometimes
listen,
no.
Marcelo,
Stats is
I'm
not
telling you,
everything when
I'm
it comes to
telling you.
football.
Lads,
Stats is not
lads,
everything when it comes to
lads,
football.
can I intervene for a moment, please? Can I
Stats-
just intervene for a
Yeah,
moment?
go, go,
Stats
go,
are
go.
not
Okay,
stats
the
are not
guy in the
everything
top right
football.
corner, right, who hasn't said a word for the last half an hour, or Abdul, who's been very quiet, or Colin down the bottom left. Can we get their opinion on this?
No, their opinion is irrelevant on whether Marcelo is
I don't
straw
care about
manning and
that.
red herring me.
No,
I
I
don't
just
give
don't
a-
want
I
to
don't
listen
give a
to you
shit what
two
I'm
lads
trying to do
arguing
with
all
you,
night,
man.
lads. And
Aaron,
there's
then
other
go
people
away.
here.
This is my show. Nobody asked you to come on.
I'm
For
just
crying
saying-
out loud.
Well,
Hold on,
if
you don't
I
have to
be-
talk. You don't have to
Aaron,
talk to
I love
Aaron
having
like
you
that.
here. I can.
You don't talk to Aaron
Aaron,
like
I
that.
love
Well-
having you here. I love having
Well,
you here.
I'd just like to hear another perspective because it's a little bit tedious. It's like this watching a tennis match. Back and
Aaron,
forth between
if
yourself and
somebody was
Marcelo.
accusing you of saying things that you didn't say, would it be fair for me to not let you argue against it?
I simply
I
think
appreciate
you,
a good debate, but you're both
I
screaming at
simply
each other.
think, Will, you always just look at the facts and you just say, that's the facts, that's what it is. Right?
Forgive
And
me for always
sometimes-
looking at the
no,
facts.
No. And sometimes you look at just the stats and you just take it, oh, that's the way it is. Oh, Adama
That is
Traore
the
is
way it
this
is.
player. No. Sometimes you need to look at the performance, you look at the team, because guess what? Football, it's a game that you can't really predict with just stats. It's not a game that you can't just predict a player's talent with just stats. Like
Does Harry
sometimes
Kane
you
have
just
good
have to
stats?
watch the game. Yes, he has good stats, but guess what? He didn't
Why?
have good stats in the beginning of his career. He didn't have good stats in the beginning of his
was
career.
he the same player at the
But
beginning
did he
of his
have good
career
stats
as
in
he
the
is
beginning of
now?
his career? Because he improved, because he got a good coach, he got a good manager. There was talent in that, and you invest that time and talent despite the stats not showing.
Have I ever said that Brian Hill will not be a good player in the future?
No, you didn't say that. But
Okay,
you
so then
just
what are you arguing then?
because you keep presenting stats as the way it is, and it's like, oh, why are we signing this guy? We need to hear now. Like, you look at what Paratici is doing, man. He is building a future. He's getting players that are that have a lot of prospect and have a lot of talent. Like, look at his first touch. Look at his ability to drive players. Like, look at that sometimes.
Let me tell you, if Will is presenting, and I don't want to pick sides because I really don't have a horse in the race. I love both you guys. I really do appreciate the perspective that you bring to Tottenham conversation. But if Will is presenting facts, right?
It's stats. It's not.
And
he presents stats.
He has no interest in proving one way or the other. I'm just not sure where the argument
But stats
is
don't tell. No, because stats doesn't always tell the story. Sometimes you have to watch the player. You have to watch how he impacts the team when he comes in. Like Aaron does. Like Aaron said, I thought Aaron made a great point. When he came in, he had a great impact. Like sometimes you need to watch for that.
In the Olympics.
Yeah, okay. In the Olympics, where a lot of great talent comes from. R9 played in the Olympics. Messi played in the Olympics. Like, what do you mean? A lot of great talent comes from the Olympics.
He averaged less than 30 minutes in the Olympics.
And when he played those 30 minutes, he looked like an absolute baller.
But you see, like, the foundation of the argument that's going on right now is that Will has an agenda against certain players when all Will has done has presented facts about said player. He has never refuted the potential of said player. And
in fact, on this show yesterday, I said that Brian Hill's movement on Thursday against PDF was brilliance. Was brilliant.
But you say it with a backhand compliment, like
it's not backhanded.
I don't know, man.
Marcelo, you're the one that has an agenda, not me.
Nah, man.
Yes.
You since the kid signed, you just didn't like the signing. It's just back.
When did I say I didn't like the signing?
Kid.
Marcelo, when did I say I didn't like the signing? What were my exact words in the chat on Twitter? I'm not excited about it.
You're not excited. You're not just watch the kid play and just.
Why do I have to be excited about signing a player who's going to become to fruition 2 or 3 years down the road?
Because he's a real baller.
What does that have to do with my excitement?
So Marcelo, if you're right,
you haven't even watched him play. You haven't even watched him play. All you did was just say a bunch of stats.
How do you know I have not watched him play?
Because all you have been saying is a bunch of stats that you probably looked up a SofaScore and you didn't even bother watching the Olympics. You wouldn't be saying this if you watched him play.
I did watch him play in the Olympics.
Him play, and he had an impact, and you would have said, "Wow, that kid." So when he comes on, he has an impact.
You're in my house. You know what I've watched and I haven't watched. And you know what I really think, even though I've never said what you said I said.
No, what I think is you saw a young kid, you saw a young signing, and you looked up his stats, and then you just didn't like him, and then you just said, "Oh, he why are we signing this kid? He can barely play for start for the under 23s Olympic team. I'm not excited about this." But you watch the kid play, he's a real talent, man.
Cody?
Look, I totally understand what Marcelo is saying, but for someone like me who, I remember the sequence that Marcelo is talking about, where Will was arguing against the signing of Brian Hill, and the context to that argument was that he didn't address an immediate need to the squad of Tottenham Hotspur. And
He does though. You'll see.
He eventually he might. Eventually he
No,
might.
you'll see. He's part of this rebuild. He's then part of the new generation of Spurs. He's going to become a baller, man.
That's fine, but in the context of this season, it is entirely plausible that he may not end up making a huge impact. And I can remember, and in fact, like Marcelo, you and I, we had an exchange on Twitter today where, you lumped me in with Will's denial of Brian Hill's talent, and I provided you with evidence that on July 27th,
And I will say,
July
did right.
27th, if you watch the stream with Will and I on the Baltimore Tottenham Boys show, I provide a defense for Brian Hill in that statistically, Brian Hill, given the minutes that he played in La Liga, rates very highly for dribbling. He rates very highly for possession in the final third. He rates very highly for dispossession of his opponents in the final third. And that is all things that are analytically done without having watched him play. I'll be honest, the first time that I saw Brian Hill play for real was Pachos de Ferreira, which
it is good,
in turn led me to my tweet today where I thought, man, this game is crying out for Brian Hill. And I don't think that there should be any shame attached to that. You know what I mean? Like this.
So in
our game against Watford today,
Will is just an evil stat wizard and is jealous of Brian Hill's beautiful hair. Got it.
I mean, it's also just interesting,
kidding,
like how those stats weren't mentioned. I mean, just interesting. But like, look, listen. I don't know. Maybe you just have against left-footed players, but it is what it is. I think you might have something against left-footed players, but it is what it is, Brian.
Listen, Brian Hill is a good player, and I don't think that he's only just like a future for our future. I think he's a player that we can benefit off right now. I think right now, based on the eye test, based on his quick movement, he's better than Steven Bergwijn right now, honestly. And also the fact
that's not saying much, though, honestly.
I know that's not saying, but look, if you're just basing it simply on stats, last year he had 4 goals and 3 assists in La Liga. Last year, Bukayo Saka had 5 goals and 3 assists. He only had 1 more goal contribution than Brian Hill, and we all regard Bukayo Saka as a good player. So that just shows, like stats is not always.
And Saka was in a better team too.
Yeah.
Wasn't Hill loaned out to Real Betis?
His team got relegated last.
No, it's Ibar. I'm pretty sure
Ibar. My bad. Not even
they got
Betis.
relegated
It was
last
Ibar.
Yeah, and what I'm trying to say is Bukayo Saka only had 1 more goal contribution than Brian Hill, and it's like
that explains. These are the things that I want to state. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the Liga at the same coefficient level as the Premier League? Yes or no?
No.
No, it's not.
Way.
Okay. All right. So,
but it's still
it's still
if
that is agreed upon. Okay, I did not say that is not the question that I asked.
It's really slow. It's a slow league. I mean, it's high quality.
That's not the question that I asked. Question number 2 for the entire panel. Question number 2 for the entire panel.
Before you move on with the question, can we just acknowledge that Marcelo just said he's drunk, which I am as well, and Will is wearing,
because
I thought a fantastic wig, and
because I thought the guy played. I forgot that he played for Ibar and not Betis. I should have known better.
Okay,
but look,
but
I still think La Liga is a good league. Right, it's a decent league. It's
I
definitely
agree with
has
you, Marcelo.
fallen.
Nobody's disagreeing with you.
It's definitely fallen down recently, but I think a player who is as young as him and is scoring 4 goals and I think 4 goals, 4 assists. I don't really look at the stats. 3 assists. And not at 18 years old. Okay. I think he was 18 at the time.
With you,
Marcelo. That's a great stat.
You're arguing to space. Right.
Yeah.
But why you have to say But why you have to say, oh, is La Liga better than why you have to bring that up? Like, why can't you just say, wow, that's really impressive from Brian Hill? It's always a but with you.
If you let me finish, you would know why. Okay. But when Eric Lamela left Tottenham Hotspur, was he a ready-made first-team player? Yes or no?
No.
What? He didn't play in the first team?
And
He
for
was a
Tottenham?
first team
Yeah.
player, like Brian Hill.
No,
could be
he
a
was
first team
more of a
player, too.
bench player.
I mean,
Lamella?
Okay. Did I say
You
the
think
starting
he's barely
11 or did I say first team?
Oh, first team. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he was a first team
He's a
player.
first
Yeah,
team
yeah.
player.
Yes, he was a ready-made first team player, right? Who could start a match if he needed to. He could come off the bench if he needed to, right? Whatever the manager decided, he was a ready-made first team player. Yes, correct? Is that agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the last 5 years or 4 years that Eric Lamela played in the Premier League, did he ever score more than 3 goals a season?
Man, I
No.
can't remember, honestly.
No, he did not. Right? Out of hundreds of minutes, 5,000-6,000 minutes played, right? He never got more than 3 goals a season. In 90 minutes
many.
playing in La Liga, he has scored how many goals?
3 goals.
3.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I played
Okay.
2 in 5 minutes.
Hold on. Let me finish the premise here, right? Where the logic follows, right? Because see, logic follows rules. Logic follows a
Yeah,
pattern.
but you see, like, this is what I'm talking about. You
This-
just bring out, like,
Logic?
but you're just bringing the kid down. You know, you're just trying
It's
to
not
make like
bringing
what
the
he
kid
has
down.
done.
Marcelo,
No, you are.
is your-
You are diminishing. No, you are diminishing. You cannot say
I'm
this.
diminishing
Marcelo,
your
is your-
idea of him.
No, you're Okay, just because Lamela scored 3 goals, it doesn't mean the league is over. Like, you know, he scored a tap in. That can happen, right? He's Lamela he plays 2 shitty teams and he scored a couple tap ins. That can happen. Okay?
I love this.
I
comment.
understand.
Brian Hill fans are worse than Michael Jordan fans.
Marcelo, you do realize your whole argument here is just that you're high on Brian Hill and mad at Will for harshing your buzz?
No, because
Like,
he
that's pretty much
You're
the
a
whole thing
heterosexual.
going on.
You're a heterosexual, and
Yes,
you're
I
upset
am.
because
He's a great
I'm
player.
not.
No, he's a great player, and when he becomes a great player, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Don't worry.
becomes a great player?
I am going to give it every single cent to you because all you do is bring the kid down.
I didn't
and
bring
you
him down.
Yes, you
Wait,
are.
Name
You're just
one
bringing-
bad thing I've ever said about him.
No. You just bring that
Name
Lamela.
one
No.
bad
You
thing
just
I've
said,
ever
you
said
just
about
said,
him.
No. You just said, oh, Brian Hill scored a couple goals in La Liga. Wait, Lamela, who barely scores in the Premier League, just scores a bunch of goals in La Liga.
It's not what I said, by the way.
Let's go La Liga.
It's not what I
that
said
was
at
your
all.
point. That was your point. Come on now. You
That
know
was
that
not
was
my
your
point.
point. You're trying to prove to us
Not my
that
point.
the Premier League is a different level, that what he did in La Liga really doesn't
It's not
really prove
equal
much.
to what he could do in the Premier League. Exactly, because it's not.
But
But he's
like,
also playing in a
you have
better
to.
team now.
Yeah, but
Let's
you also
account
look.
that in, too.
Yeah, you also left to account that Sevilla is a better team than Eibar, right? A much better team. You can also account that Lamela is already an experienced player, right? And you have to account that sometimes football, that shit happens.
Hold on.
I mean,
hold on.
no. Hold on. Sometimes that shit happens. Remember, fucking what was it? Balotelli used to be a baller, and then he went to Liverpool and scored 1 goal. Shit like that happens.
Okay.
Sometimes guys, you know, they find resurgence at a new club. Maybe Lamela just needed a new club, new fresh air, new team, new players. Sometimes that takes into account. You know, like
Okay.
that.
But
And this
that's
is my.
that is a subjective opinion, Marcelo.
No, but this is my problem.
That is a
with you is
subjective
that you just
opinion.
look at the stats and you say, "That's it. That's done. Over."
Marcelo,
Like
what
you have to
just
look
said,
at that as well.
What you just said is a subjective opinion that is not based in any factual evidence whatsoever. And if that's cool, if it's just your opinion, I've got no problem. But you're saying I'm wrong. And in order for me to be wrong, there has to be actual evidential reasons why I am wrong. Otherwise, it's just your subjective opinion.
Okay. All right. No. That's fine.
Listen, Marcelo,
Okay.
Will is right, but I will say
He's gonna be wrong in the future, and then
That's
he's gonna
right.
apologize.
Why would I be
That's right.
wrong?
You will be wrong because when he is balling out for
Marcelo.
Tottenham in the next
Marcelo.
2 years, you're gonna say, damn, maybe I should have listened to Marcelo. Maybe I should
Marcelo.
have just taken
I don't disagree
all
with
those
you
stats.
that he could be great in the
Maybe
future.
I should have
Technically, he would
hadn't taken all those stats and just put it as it was.
Marcelo.
You're a stats merchant, just a stats merchant, all the time with the stats. It's boring. Just watch it sometimes. Just fucking just
I love you, Marcelo, but you are out of your mind.
Absolutely kills me sometimes.
Marcelo, listen. DM me.
Oh god.
DM me because you and I were gonna work together to take Will down someday.
You will never be able to. But
We
Wobbles
will.
has got it.
Yeah. Don't underestimate. Yeah. Statistically, you have.
It's not too early to
zero
tell right now.
evidence to say
The kid
that I
is a
cannot
top
take you
baller.
down.
Okay, yeah. How many goals has he scored in the Premier League?
Come on, really? Come on, man.
I mean, come on now, Will.
No, he's a baller, man. He's a baller. He is the love child of Lionel Messi and Luka Modric.
You can see his skills, man.
He's going to win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years. I see it in his skills. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years because he is Lionel Messi's
I'm not saying
love child.
I never said
no,
that.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I'm being positive. Why are you tearing him down? He could totally win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years. Why are you tearing him down, Marcelo?
Man, the kid.
Why you always got an agenda against him?
Why can't
Marcelo? Why can't he win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years? You tell me why he can't. You tell me why he can't win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years. Tell me why he can't. Don't be so negative, Marcelo. Why are you tearing the kid down?
But you see, there's a difference.
There's not a difference. You are totally tearing him down. He could totally win. He's an amazing player who's gonna win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years.
He's gonna be an amazing,
and you've got no proof or evidence that he won't.
He is an amazing player. He's gonna be an amazing
so then why are you tearing him down? Why can't he win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years?
I'm not tearing him down.
You don't. You just said he couldn't win the Ballon d'Or.
You never know. His ceiling is high, man. The kid's ceiling is high, but I don't think he's gonna win a Ballon d'Or.
Why are you tearing him down?
But he's definitely gonna be a top player. And just because he couldn't play for the under 23s, it's just, man.
Why can't he win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years?
Just watch the kid play, man.
Why can't he win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years? Why are you tearing him down?
Man, just watch the kid play.
Why are you tearing him down?
That's all I'm gonna say. Just watch him play.
You just said he's not going to win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years. Why?
Drops off a score. Drops off a score once in a while. Just go watch the game.
Real quick. Hey, Tommy G, fuck off with the Matty Hayes slander in the chat. Matty Hayes is a fucking saint, and I won't stand for it. Get out of here with that bullshit. We stand Matty Hayes in this house.
Yep.
Who's knocking Matty Hayes?
Every minute gives his audience a graph of his likes per stream.
And also, Marcelo likes Matty Hayes too, so don't lump
I'm not going to tell Matty Hayes anything. I mean, if he wants... I mean, look, listen. Listen, he has every right to put a like. Like this video, bro. It's fucking free. I'm giving you free fucking content over here. All right?
It's been pretty fun. To be honest with you, like people think,
like this video.
people think, and this is the problem. Look, and Aaron, I honestly, you have to understand. If I get excited or passionate about something, it has nothing to do with me disliking you or whatever, right? But me and Marcel do this all the time. Tomorrow
Will's just shitting on you.
Yeah, we will be buddies tomorrow, and we'll agree about something.
Now.
Yeah, we'll agree about something tomorrow, and then we'll disagree about something on Wednesday, right? That's just what me and Marcel do, right? So when people try to interrupt and get in between and do whatever, it doesn't help, right? Especially when it's like sticking your hand between two pit bulls trying to fight over a tenderloin, right? Like you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Bottom line, fuck you, Aaron.
No, come on now. Let's be nice to Aaron.
Lads, slow it down for a moment. Lads, I was trying to be a fucking bit of UN here, a bit of a peacekeeper, and just break it up. All right, man. I understand exactly the dynamic that's going on between you two boys. All right. I'm just saying, there's a couple other lads in the chat room. I was interested to hear their opinion on the topic.
I do want to hear from Brian.
We got an hour and a half left in this show. We'll have plenty of times to hear their opinions. But Mr. Brian Diggle, welcome to the show. Wobbles, welcome to the show.
Love you, Brian.
And while you guys chat, I'm gonna go take a weevy, and I'll be right back. And but I will be listening. So if you have something you need to address to me, I will be listening. But I do have to.
I didn't mean to scare you that much, but come on, man.
Now you're gonna make me piss my pants on stream to not look like I'm giving up. So now you're gonna make me.
Yeah, Will's so scared his hair is growing back, man.
You want?
There you go.
Yeah, just use the bottle. We can't see the logo.
Bye, Will. Is this your channel? Whose channel is it?
You want me to piss in the cup? You want me to piss in the cup?
I can't hear you. I
No,
can't hear you.
go to the bathroom, bro. Go to the bathroom. Go to the
Bob did.
bathroom.
Don't make me boot you. I can kick you out too.
He did it.
Oh, I think you know what? I mean, I think Marcelo won that argument. If we're
That'll fix that.
Oh my god!
He keeps removing himself. I can add you back in. You can't remove it yourself.
hey,
Universe Galaxy, Cody. If you ever gonna mute me on my show again, don't mute somebody who no.
Michael Jordan pants are the worst. Michael Jordan pants. Blah blah blah.
Oh my god!
But
Oh my god.
I do have to pee, seriously. So I can either piss in a cup or you can let me pee.
Go
It's
pee.
your guys' choice.
Go take a
go
piss.
As
ahead,
long as you're fine with us
Come pee in the
talking
cup.
shit
You're in your
about
own
you.
home for fuck's
You can
sake.
talk shit about me. Yeah, that's cool. I never mind people talking shit about me.
Yo, I'll be
think to
back
answer
after
that
Jake
question-
Paul gets knocked out.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting till
Nice.
Will leaves so I can talk shit.
That's
I
cool.
will.
But no, I don't wear diapers during my live streams. For obvious.
Bro, you
reasons.
should. If you stayed this long, bro, go to the bathroom.
Oh my.
Well, Matt Hayes is doing a 12-hour stream for a deadline day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, dude, you gotta record at least like some 20 to 30 minute like pre-recorded videos so that you can like grab a bite. At least take your headphones off your ears for a while, because I'm telling you, dude,
The sweat.
12-hour, yeah, your ass is gonna be on fire just to get up and walk around.
Especially when if you really think about it, I don't think we're gonna do any more business, guys.
What a boring day that'll be then. But
I don't think we're gonna do more.
I'll
business.
probably end up streaming for like 8 hours because I've got that show, then we've got me and Cody's show, and then I'm going on Stell's show. So I'm gonna be streaming up probably all day too. But
Busy day.
Before you go, and just answer really quickly, Will.
Sure.
Who do you think we're gonna get before the window closes?
I have no idea. I don't think anyone.
Just you don't think anyone? Just
No.
name one player. If there's one player on top of your head that you think maybe we're gonna go for it and get, it's gotta be one.
I thought the Maliba deal was going to go through, but that didn't go through.
Basuma.
Yeah.
Oh please, Basuma. Oh,
I don't
What
think
a player.
Basuma. I don't even think
probably
he's available.
not. No.
That Moriba kid is not that good. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm
No,
happy
he won
we're not
that
getting
third
him.
wage
He's a little
too.
overrated.
I'm
Yeah.
happy we're not getting him. I've seen him play a bunch of times last year for Barca. He's not that special.
Yeah.
I think that look, the only thing that makes me think the Troy deal is going to happen is because he switched agents in order to push it through.
Yeah.
So he wants it. He wants to come to talk.
I think that's also part.
And
of
that's the only reason why I want
him.
him.
Today.
That's the only reason why I would take him. That's the only reason.
And Tomiyasu wants to come to Tottenham. He's like he hasn't played for Bologna since because he's kind of pulling a boycott. He hasn't played for a single game this season yet for Bologna. He wants to come to Tottenham.
We'll snap him up. I think Tomiyasu will be that deal. We'll snap up.
I would
We
love
already
to have
know, like,
Tomiyasu.
we already know like the fee, what to pay. So I think
I can't lie, I haven't seen him play.
He's been
I-
shown at the
He's
airport
good.
since the Olympics.
I
But,
honestly feel like the Tomiyasu deal is done now that it's decided that Tanganga is staying. I think that was an option when Tanganga was going to be going on.
All right, you
loan.
guys can talk. I'm sorry, I'm going to piss myself. So
Yeah, go,
rather than
go,
piss
Will,
myself, I'm
go,
going to go to the bathroom.
go.
All right, thank you very much.
I personally think Tomiyasu is still gonna happen. I just think that
I would like it if it
there's
did.
no way you can
I
depend on
love it to happen,
Tanganga.
man.
Exactly. He's injury
For-
prone as hell. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like-
there's no way I want Matt Doherty anywhere near the pitch
Oh
on
god.
the
Oh
Premier
my
League game.
God.
So
Yeah,
No way.
bro, that guy is useless, bro. Brian, do you
What's
think
up, brother?
if there's one name on your mind that you think we're gonna sign before the deadline, who do you think it is?
I think, and it has to be Tomiyasu. This deal has to get done because, as you've just said, we need a right back. Tanganga, I don't think, with his injuries as well, you got to remember that kid can pick up an injury, and they're not little injuries. They are
big ones.
They're medium to big injuries, and we can't overplay him like we do with all our other players. Tomiyasu is like a certainty. The thing that's really pissed me off with that deal is apparently we were 2 million short. Apparently the Olympics, well, we sold Sissoko. There's your 3 million. Go get him. It's just nonsense. I have to say,
I think we're waiting to sell Aurier. I think that's what's going to happen, right?
Well, this is the thing. I hate this. We've got to sell to bring in.
Listen, brother, I'm right there with you.
It is the most ridiculous method we have, and the other method we have is we have to buy someone, and we look at them and say, "Oh, if this doesn't work, what can we sell them for?" I don't care about the sell-on fee. Bring in the players for now to do their job, rather than thinking, "Oh, this one is only 21. He may not be good. We'll get rid of it." I honestly can't stand it, but I have to say that is probably the longest I've ever gone on a stream in dead silence. But I have to say, I came onto the stream last Saturday and I had to get off. I don't know what was with that Galaxy, whatever, but oh my God, I was in the background here for about 30 minutes and I've never been so bored in my life. Never. I have no idea what that was all about, but I was like, oh my good God. That was just strange of the highest order. But before I let anyone else talk, Aaron, it's wicked to be on a stream with you, and whoever it is on the top right, I don't know your name. It's a pleasure to be on a stream with you, buddy.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Daigle. And as far as Takahiro Tomiyasu goes, I'm with you all the way, man. I think we need that guy, and not only for my own family, personal reasons, with my daughter being Japanese citizen and that, and she said she'll come over to the lane if he signs for us. But I just think he's a decent player. You know, he's two-footed. He's pretty dynamic defender. He's got a goal or two in him.
You can play center back as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fantastic signing for us. So he'd be, and for the price, I mean, what was it, 22 million? I mean, that's got to be value for money. So yeah, he'd be my priority signing now. That, and if there is such a thing as a proper right winger out there these days, I'd love a proper right winger, but a name doesn't come to mind for me. So yeah, Takahiro Tomiyasu, he'd be my first choice at this point.
With Tomiyasu, right? And you know, people think I don't look at stats. I still look at stats, and he does pass the stats pass, but he does not pass the eye test yet. For me, I have to watch him play to really give a concrete. I was really excited though when we were looking at Emerson Royale, because I personally seen him play, and I think his stats are really good. You think maybe he's a possibility? You think, you know, is there any chance we can probably get him? Because I would love Emerson in the club.
I read an article that Tottenham are preparing like a 25.3 million pound bid tomorrow, and Barcelona earlier on was expecting like about 25.7 to like this even to think about selling him. So he's around the 25 million pound mark. Barcelona, they brought him back from Real Bet. No, what is it? Celtic? No, Real.
It was Betis.
Yeah. About 9 million euros. So, I mean, like his value would be like around the 25 to 30 million pounds, I'm guessing, for Royale, and I think he'll be a great pick because, like, if you're looking, for example, the game today against Watford, how many times has Højbjerg threaded a through ball to Japhet Tanganga? He was in a prime position to give a nice cross, and he just didn't. It just was not hitting. It just was not good. And the thing about Takahiro Tomiyasu is he's a great player, good defensively, but I think last year he was like based on like the amount of crosses he put into the box, or his crossing percentage was not that great. Like somebody could look into like his crossing percentage, and it's not that great. But everything else, like defensively, he's good at being 2-foot. He's good at.
Emerson's got a wicked cross, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I can say like that. It's got a wicked cross, that boy.
If you put Emerson in those positions Tanganga wasn't today, it looks a lot better. So I want Emerson personally, but I'll take Tomiyasu. I'll
tell you a rumor that's going to gather pace, and I would do this all day long, is Van der Beek on loan. I would take him in an absolute heartbeat.
Oh, 100%. But the issue is, listen, what I don't get what Ole has against that kid, because when he was in Ajax and he was playing in the Champions League, that kid is a real good baller, and he's a good number 8 too. He can play that central midfielder role pretty well, and he's tidy on the ball. I'm with you there, Brian. I would love him.
Here's my problem. My problem. Okay, Ajax players are hit and miss for a reason. Some of them succeed within the Ajax system, within the Ajax setup, which is unlike any other in the world. And when they leave, they don't quite hit the same heights.
True. No, that's fair.
And I
That's
think
fair.
listen, I'm the #1 Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hater anywhere. I think the guy's a total fraud. But at the same time, I really just think that he's just one of those players who just the quality that he showed in the Champions League and obviously in the Eredivisie, which is like what, the 8th best league in Europe. But
First off, can we talk
giving
about
him the respect
that?
he's due for what he's done? I'll give that to him fully. But it just seems like, once that fish is out of that water, he's not doing quite as
Kieran,
well.
I'll give you
I don't
three
know if
names.
his
I'll give you
skills
three
totally
names.
translate.
The Tongan, Alderweireld, Eriksson.
Yes,
Yeah, but that
and
was under
those are
Pochettino.
players those are examples of Ajax players who have succeeded. You know who else was an Ajax Academy product? Davinson Sanchez. So there are other examples as well of guys who, come through the Ajax system, look great, and don't quite cut it.
Kieran, I'm going to counteract that. Van der Beek is now going into a World Cup year. He's out of the Dutch squad. He needs to get back into that squad. He will have a point to prove to everyone. If we get one loan now, you've got to remember as well, he is not going on international duty, so he's got 2 weeks of intense training with Nuno. And when he comes back, we are all saying we need a creator. And
I agree with Brian.
And the reason I'm saying him
Do
as
you
well.
think Man U would really loan
They
him to
want to
us?
get him on loan. They could do it with look what they did with Lingard. His value has gone up. It could be with an option to buy or an obligation. Who knows? But what you got to remember as well.
I guess we are about that West
What you
Ham
got to remember
range.
as well
It's
is
pretty
every
fucking
single
embarrassing.
one of us right now
Fuck.
are crying out for a creative midfield. And what you have to remember, the reason I'm saying him
Yeah.
is if you look at the way we're moving in transfers, apparently we don't have any money unless we're buying property. So if you're going to go and get if you're going to go and get a player in that is familiar with the Premier League, knows how it works, does have quality, then I don't think you will look across Europe and get someone on loan that quickly. With that
quality.
As good, exactly.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I will say
if we can make it happen, then absolutely go for it. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but
I will say this. Oftentimes, a lot of creative players don't exactly have to just completely fit the system. They are there to be the spark of magic. Like, for example, Eriksson, really look at it, Ajax played tiki-taka football. That's how they play. Pochettino played high intense, high pressing, balls to the wall football. It's a little bit different than tiki-taka. Yeah. But we still put Eriksson there, who wasn't, Eriksson was a good presser, but he wasn't the best at it. But we put Eriksson there for the magic. His purpose was just produce that magic, man. Just that through pass, find Kane, find Son, find Dele, create space, stretch out the defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just be a creative machine.
Because Nuno allows players like that to express themselves. He's always.
But we don't
have
any.
We don't have any. You're right.
You got to remember it this way as well. But... And just to answer Bryce, he is going to become an option once Ronaldo is signed, sealed, delivered. You got to remember, this rumor keeps going around, and I pray to God and any God that will listen to me. The other one we've been linked with, and I will literally go crazy, is Martial, who is pathetic. I would take unplayed Van der Beek 1 billion times out of 1 billion over a Martial.
Go
on, Marcelo, brother.
You know who, for me, would be the best number 8 that Tottenham could possibly have, and I can't believe we haven't even looked at him, is that kid, Florian Nehus. I rate that kid so much,
Nehus.
man. Nehus, man. He's a baller, man. Baller. In my opinion, I think he's a tidy player, man. I like how tidy he is. He's the type of player we need. We need someone tidy like him.
You're stuck on that tidy thing tonight.
No, but that's what we're missing. We're missing that's what we're missing. Like Brian, you've seen many great number 8s, and how important a number 8 is to a team.
Yep.
You've seen the Scholes, you've seen the Dembeles, you've seen all of them, man.
The greatest number 8 ever in Paul Gascoigne.
Yeah, Paul Gascoigne. They are the spine of any team. A number 8 is a spine of any team. We need that. We don't have that.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like the thing about Donny Van de Beek is he's been shit for a lot. I don't know about shit, but he hasn't been playing for a long time. And even when he was playing in the Man United system, he just was not fitting in. He just looked lost out there. And I'm afraid that if he does come to Tottenham, it's going to take him a while to get embedded into our system. And also, he's been shit for a very long time, and I think it is a big risk. Honestly, someone that I'll take is I like someone like Todd Cantwell. I like him from Norwich. I think he's a decent player. I think there's a lot of players out there that people don't look at because they play for a shit team. But when you put him in a better circumstance with better players around, Adama Traore, Hintons, they can develop and they can deliver good results. So I like a player like Todd Cantwell. I don't think he'll cost that much. He is British because all of a sudden this whole you can't get.
Yeah, but he's a gooner. But but in my opinion, I don't want to sign no gooners anymore. After Doherty, I don't want to sign any more gooners. No. You know, Doherty was killing in the Premier League. Yeah. You know, listen, and you know, technically stats wise, Doherty was a pretty good buy, but his gooner heart, you can tell it. He's not giving his all. He doesn't care about Spurs. He's just there for the bag. He saw the bag, he took for it. But you know, every time, like, and it does play a big difference. People think, oh, you know, he's a professional. It shouldn't really affect him. Listen, man, when you are a gooner and you're that much of a passionate gooner, and you're playing for Spurs, you're not giving your 100%. You're just not. You're not going to give your 100%.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I think Matt Doherty isn't like that, honestly. He seems to me like a guy who's trying. He's just past it. He's washed.
No, he's not trying. He's not trying.
He's washed.
He's not trying.
He went off the cliff and he's gone. And like last season, don't forget, he also got a really nasty case of COVID. Like his was particularly bad. He probably has reduced lung function. He's probably never going to be the athlete he was, no matter how hard he trains. And I think it's just shit luck. And it was a bad buy in the first place. Buying a right wing back to play in a back four when he's never done that. So,
well, he's done it for Ireland, but
oh, that doesn't count. Ireland are terrible. I love Ireland. I love Irish people, but they're a terrible football team. The U.S. would spank them. U.S. would spank Ireland.
But if we're looking at number 8, why is nobody talking about McKinney?
McKinney's a good signing.
I don't know
a lot about him. I would have to Danny Rose him. I've seen the name.
Weston McKennie.
I've seen the name mentioned 1,000 times, but I really don't know much about him.
If you want to know a lot about him, go watch our Mexico U.S. men's national team versus Mexico live stream.
Fantastic.
Also, go watch him. Go watch him with Juventus. He's really good. He's probably their best player.
He's insanely good.
Other than Chiesa.
Is he actually that good? No, let's be real. Is he actually that good?
No, he is.
Listen.
Listen. In my personal opinion, watching him play, I think he's.
Man,
I
know you've seen him tear up Canada. Come on, don't lie.
He's a talented young boy, and the thing I like about Weston McKennie, he's got the right mentality.
He does.
He's got a good mentality in him.
What's like? I had always liked Weston McKennie, but I don't necessarily. The thing that really convinced me was that match against Mexico. He dragged the U.S. men's national team to that victory.
Yeah. He did. He's a leader, man.
He did.
He's got so much heart, so much spirit.
He's Pierre-Emma Højbjerg, but better on the ball, right? Like
basically, yeah. That's basically who he is. Yeah.
I don't know if he's better. Listen, man. I think a lot of people don't give credit Højbjerg on the ball, man. I really don't. He's amazing. He's a baller, man.
Skills. He's got skills. I don't have the statistics to back it up, but just from the eye test, I would say that
McKennie. When he megged Roman Saiz
talk to me about
Wolves,
the eye test. Who was the person simply based on eye test that said that Lucas Moura was going to be our best number 10 last season? Who was it?
It was no. I give you credit. You should use it more.
I do use the eye test.
It works well for you.
I do use the eye test.
It works well for you. You should use it more.
Crying out loud. Who is the first person out of our Spurs group to say that Nuno Espirito Santo would be a good manager for Tottenham Hotspur?
Well, that's a little
true.
You see, the thing is, Nuno, I like the guy, but I think he's gotta find the system, man. I just don't think this is the system. I feel like, yes, we have won 3 games in a row. And I would say this Watford performance was pretty good. It was a big improvement over Wolves. And I thought the Man City performance was very good. But
great performance against Man City.
It was a great performance against Man City. But I would say these last 2, it felt like a kind of a shithouse win. It did really feel like that. And we're not going to shithouse our way to top 4.
I don't know. Klopp, the first season that Liverpool made to the top 4, they shithoused their way to the top 4.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Fair. But is he a Jurgen Klopp? I don't know, man. Jurgen Klopp is like people forget Jurgen Klopp won the Bundesliga with Dortmund. People always talk about 100%. Klopp in the Premier League, but like people forget like Klopp can like he's just a different level, man. He's just a different. In my opinion, he's the best manager in the world.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Bundesliga. Yeah, I think the Bundesliga is probably the most underrated league. In fact, statistically, Bundesliga is the second highest coefficient, and in fact, La Liga is not even in the top 5 anymore.
Yeah.
No. It's Ligue 1. It's the French league. They're 6th.
Is it?
Liga NOS is 5. I think La Liga is 4th, and then it's Serie A and Bundesliga. I'm pretty
Bundesliga and the Premier League. And that's why I think that we tend to see. I think we, with the exception of maybe Timo Werner, I would say that we tend to see players coming out of the Bundesliga succeeding quicker than players from other leagues.
Florian Aarhus would be a top number 8 for Tottenham.
Which is why I've wondered why Tottenham hasn't signed more players from
because
the
Paratici his focus is
at all in the last 10 years.
Because his focus is on Italy and Spain.
Those are his connection.
Yeah,
those are his connection.
Well, even before,
but Italy has many good players as well coming up. Italy has some really good players coming up.
They do.
But back to Bundesliga, it's even more impressive when you win the league without managing Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
if you win the league with not Bayern Munich, that is a great achievement. It's like winning the league. It's like winning the French league without being at PSG. Like the hurdles you have to go through financially and the way you just have to set up. It's fantastic, man. I mean, Klopp is just, oh man, he's fantastic.
Lucas, once he started playing number 10, was most definitely our best number 10 last year.
He definitely was. Yeah.
How many games was he playing number 10 though?
Huh?
How many games was he playing as a number 10 though?
He played about 4 or 5 before Mourinho got
where
they were like our more aggressive attacking performances, and he had a whole lot to contribute to it. And I said it on another stream that I actually think he's going to be our player of the year this season, and that's including Kane and Son. I think what he's got to offer is so much, and you just saw from that little appearance today when he made that run and put in that cross. That was a fantastic cross that a Watford player got a touch on. I mean, if that was a couple of years ago, that probably would have gone out for a throw-in on the other side. He has worked so hard on his passing and everything, and I'm very, very happy with him. Very happy with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Marcelo's phone died as well.
You'll probably rather see him starting over Steven Bergwijn, right? Next game?
Do you know what? I'm a huge fan of Bergwijn. I always have been. He needs confidence. What I didn't like today is that we gave him the left and put Son on the right. Son is our best left winger, and Son, that is your position. When you got your team, you put the best player in that position. Exactly. And I wish Bergwijn had been given a chance.
Cody.
I wish he'd been given a chance to play on the right, but Bergwijn, I've been impressed with the last few games. More up for me. I mean, what we've got to look at now, especially with the Conference League, is rotation. We've got to monitor this, especially if we don't bring in a lot of strength in depth. What we've got to do to keep these players fit is rotate. And if Mora comes on as a second half sub and makes an impact like he does when defenses are tiring, it could be Bergwijn doing the same thing. But I think you would have thought Mora has got more form and is more cemented in the club, as in you're going nowhere, you're settled, we'll bring you off of the bench and you can have an impact, as opposed to saying, Bergwijn, you've been doing okay, we're going to drop you and then come off. And I think it's in the long run, it's benefiting Bergwijn. He's got back into the Holland squad as well.
Look at Ole. Ole was built his career as an impact sub. You know, impact subs are incredible. I mean, that's the only reason Man United won their first, their second Champions League. You know, it's the reason why Fergie won his first Champions League, because he had someone like Ole on the bench who can come in at extra time and change the game. You know, like that's what he did for United when he played against Dortmund. So, I mean, not Dortmund, Bayern. Yeah. So you need players like that's going to have an impact. And I agree with you, Brian. Having someone like Lucas when there's tired legs, man, it's a good addition.
The only thing I didn't like, it's not that I didn't want Harry Kane to be in the side today. I mean, it's obvious that Harry Kane needed to be in the side today, but I just don't always like that whenever Harry Kane needs to come in, it's Lucas Moura who gets sacrificed. I think that's...
I didn't want him in the starting lineup today. I just didn't. And it wasn't because of the saga, and it wasn't because of his attitude. I just thought, you know what, you got a winning team here. Harry Kane, whether you like it or not, he played the full season for us. Then he went to the Euros. Then whatever happened with the holiday, whatever nonsense. It's not Jose where he could have just come in and known the system. He's got to learn a new system with new team. And I thought, you know what, Harry Kane today, who again,
he didn't look that.
No, it's like when he rushed him back for the finals and he didn't show. His passing was okay, but I thought, you know what, with Harry Kane, let Bergwijn, Son, and Moura just run them absolutely ragged and knacker them, and then literally just bring Kane on to finish the game. Don't get me wrong, after the international break, when Kane will play a couple of games or 3 games for England, however they manage him, then he comes back for Palace, Chelsea, and the filth. He has to start those games. There's no question about it. Those games he has to start. But the reason I didn't want him today was just simply because we had to change our whole dynamics. We've been on a winning run, and those 3 up front have played their socks off, and they've run for the team as well. Gone.
It's what cost us the final, Brian. I mean, it's what cost us the final when we went to the Champions League final. Pochettino, instead of just playing, and this is sometimes, and I know it's not exactly Kane's fault, but as a teammate, I sometimes feel like Harry Kane just tries to make himself too much of a protagonist, and it's sometimes like, man, you got to take a step back.
But it wasn't even just the Champions League final. It was last year at the Carabao Cup final as well. He was easily the best player on the pitch, and they took him off.
Yeah, I think sometimes, Harry Kane, we tend to just look at him. It's like, oh, we have to play him regardless what. And like, no. Like, in that final, we should have played the players that got to that final. Period. The people who get you to the final, you played them. You played that system. It's the reason why you got there. And I agree with you. I think we should have just played the system that we played against Wolves, City. The reason why we won those games was because of those players in the system we played. And we need to figure out how Harry Kane can fit in that system. Brian, I mean, you're hitting right on the nail, man. Right on the nail.
A comment from Scott M that says, not a chance that cost us the final. What I would say, again, I don't dispute we wouldn't be in these finals if it wasn't for Harry Kane's goals that got us to the final. But what I will say is, if you look at that Champions League game, I'm going to use the Champions League game for a reason. Harry Kane was not fit. Moura did what he did for the hat-trick. Now, any Spurs fan, would you rather Kane started, and obviously the game turned out how it did and it got turned on the penalty, or would you rather bring him on, let's say in the second half, where the game could go into extra time, could go into penalties? He's a bit more fresher than everyone else, and when it comes to penalties, there is no one you would rather take a penalty than Harry Kane. Because if that Champions League game had gone to extra time, there was no way with Harry Kane's fitness he was playing 120 minutes. So I personally think the best thing would have been to bring him on if it was 1-0 down or whatever, and then let him go.
But what I don't understand is, why does Moura have to come off even if Kane's there? Why can't Moura? Why couldn't have especially in the Champions League final? Why couldn't Moura played on the right side of that midfield 3? Why does he have to come off just because Kane's in? I don't understand why, people are getting into that side. Well, I mean, who played on that? It was Lamela?
No, it was Christian Eriksen.
Christian Eriksen. But in my opinion, I don't think we should have changed the system. Period. Like another great example. You all, Brian, you must have remembered Romario, one of the best strikers of that time. One of the best strikers.
Him and Bebeto together.
Yeah, and my dad, he watched Vasco. This was in the Club World Cup final. Vasco was a big underdog beat Manchester United to reach the final. And in the final, they signed Romario to play him in the final. And they lost to Corinthians with Romario. So they beat United without him, and they actually lost the final with him. And it's not because Romario was a bad player. He was one of the best strikers in the world that time. But he just didn't fit the system. In football, there is a system. And if the system is effective, you don't change it.
Nope.
You know, you don't change it until it doesn't become effective. You know, like that's something I feel like Pochettino sometimes lacked. He reverted back to his comfort zone a little bit too much.
You know, it reminds me of a great thing Harry Redknapp used to say. I can't remember when he said it during his managerial reign with us, but he was doing an interview. I can't remember who it was with, and we had a few players that weren't playing regularly and rotating, and there was like, you've got all these players and they're wanting to. How are you going to keep them happy and motivated? And Harry Redknapp turned around and said, "You know what? My job isn't to make them happy. Their job is to make me happy."
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do with Kane sometimes. So, yes, he is the main man when he's with us, but there's times for the benefit of the club, you've got to say, Harry, listen, we know what you can bring, but for the sake of the team, because I think the game slowed down. So one reason I think was because Kane was there, and that's the way he plays. That there's no debating it, and I'm not criticising him for that. Harry Kane is a player that slows the game down compared to the three we had for the last few games.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt about it. So he does that, and like I said, he's coming into a new system where he had to learn everything, and I just don't think it was right for him. Let him go to England, let him play the 2, 3, half a games, whatever he plays. Then he comes back, and then he's fit and ready to go and roaring. I think our hearts have ruled our heads with getting him on the pitch for the reaction and there's just got to be a time where it's like, you know what, Harry, for the good of the team, and because you get injured so often with your ankles, we need to use you accordingly, especially if we don't have backup. And that's what I'm liking what Nuno's doing at the moment with players.
You know, that's kind of scary, though. Now that you bring it up, we still don't have any backup strikers.
Well, I've said it before, and I'm probably going to set the comment section wild. I still don't think this Kane deal is dead.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, me and the Spurs fans.
Listen, I've been saying that the whole window.
I agree with you, Brian. I think it's not completely dead, but I don't think it's going to happen. Regardless of whether
the Rat's not going to let him leave.
You know what it is? What I would say? Listen,
isn't this because of your bet?
Oh no, I've got a better Brian Ireland, but that's not true. Listen, I said this on a few streams today, but I tweeted it on Friday. When Man City were about to sign Ronaldo, I said, do not rule out Manchester United coming in with a massive bid, whether it be cash, players like Van der, whatever, because they have to do something. They have to do something.
They can't just let them go.
Now it's gone the other way. Now listen, we all loved Man City spanking Arsenal. It was one of the greatest things I've seen. It was a lovely Saturday morning to watch.
All the AFC.
Poetry in motion.
Man City need a striker, and they need a statement signing. Now, I know Levy's come out. I mean, Levy, fuck off. I know Kane's come out and given that statement, but what's to stop Man City, not right at the deathlight 11th hour, but coming in tomorrow or Tuesday morning and going, right, we need a striker. No more joking about. 150 million cash here now.
Okay, so like, I don't disagree with you, Brian, that it's possible that City come in and put him in a big offer. But right,
too late,
if Kane goes now, after saying he's going to stay, then he is a fucking snake.
So this is what I'm going to count. This is
that is true.
So what you got? I don't know if anyone's been watching Sky Sports News or has access to it, but they're talking a hell of a lot about the Kylian Mbappe deal to Madrid, and what they're saying is obviously Real Madrid are offering 170, but they actually owe another 45 million of the 180. And Kylian Mbappe has said, apparently, and there's a gentleman's agreement, apparently, that Kylian Mbappe has said he will not leave for free. He will not leave for free. And PSG are putting it out there because now if he goes on a free, he looks like Judas, he looks like whatever. Tottenham have made him come out with that statement.
What
Not
is it with
because-
these gentlemen agreements?
Exactly.
Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Like, that is the most load of horseshit, and that works both ways. If Harry Kane said in a gentleman's agreement, I will not leave for free, and then he left for free, I would not blame it at all. I would say that is just poor business from the club. There is no such thing as gentleman's agreement in football.
Completely.
It's a cutthroat business.
Absolutely.
So what I'll say with Harry Kane's statement, what you got to remember, the club has put that out, and Harry Kane has said that not because he wants to stay, but because he looks like he has to stay.
Of course, he doesn't want to stay.
So basically, if we do get this offer in, and it does come in, and then Harry does decide, I want to go, he looks like the villain. This has all been played. Now, obviously, I don't want it to happen. What I'm saying is I've just got a feeling there is going to be, over the next 24 to 48 hours, it won't be a rumour, it won't be they've had a conversation, there will be a bid, period. That's all I'm saying.
Brian, I love you, but sometimes you kind of stress me out.
Oh no, I stress myself, mate. Trust me.
You know what? Here I was like, oh, we're gonna keep Kane, and now in the back of my mind, you planted the seed, man.
So like I said, if we do sell him and he goes to Man City, especially after my favourite person, the Parasite, said I'm not selling to a Premier League club, any rant that you have seen that I've personally given this man will look like I've just declared world peace, especially in the Middle East. That's how those previous rants will look like. I will go down the streets and shout at them across. I will be going absolutely apoplectic on any stream that will have me, and you may have to have your bleeper out depending on the time, Will, because I will be I will be Gordon Ramsay on ecstasy. With my cursing.
Oh my god.
I just feel like
damn, dude.
If he does this, though, I say this, if he does this, the fans will go wild, but he's done this before, and the fans haven't done anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
What you got to remember with this as well is when these bids were apparently coming in, all these conversations, and Kane was saying he needs to leave, what you got to remember is every single fan and every single journalist and every single person was turning around saying, it doesn't matter a flying fuck what Harry Kane wants. Harry Kane has a contract for 3 years, and the club will make this decision. So it can't be now, he's put out this, he's not going anywhere. If the bid comes in, and we're talking about, like, just watch it. If you start seeing bids coming, like money, don't trigger me. I've been calm all day.
I haven't done it in a long time, so I didn't even.
All I have to say is, if you see Spurs start making offers and they're banding big money about, be warned.
Harry Kane is sold, yeah.
Be warned.
You're
Can
absolutely
I just
right.
provide a different perspective to this? Possibly.
Of course.
I understand, Levy's history is precedent. We know that he values money above everything and profit for the business above everything. But, he's also a very egotistical man from what we can tell. He definitely seems like he has some kind of, just in the way he handles himself in negotiations and stuff like that. I think it's possible that this could now be an ego thing for Daniel Levy as being the guy, the chairman, who told Manchester City to pay up or fuck off.
Nope, this man will bend over and get the
kill his own
KY jelly
grandmother.
as soon as the number is reached. He will phone up Joe and say, get the chopper because I'm coming to the yacht.
You don't think he might like to be that guy? Just
when it comes to money, not a
he
chance.
doesn't care.
But
he
we
doesn't
don't
care.
need to sell Kane. That's the thing. There's no pressure. He's got a 3-year contract, and could we use the money? Yes. Do we need the money? We really don't. So that's the thing.
Does Daniel Levy?
So
No.
him
Listen.
No means he loses nothing and gains being the guy who told Manchester City to fuck off.
Let me explain you the greed level of Daniel Levy, and I'll take this one over, Brian. When the pandemic happened, Daniel Levy, who was already a declared millionaire who makes profits that none of us could imagine, do you think he really needed a $5 million raise that he gave himself? Do you think he really needed that during a pandemic? No. Why did he do it? Because he's just a greedy fucking bastard.
This man gave himself.
we know
This man gave
this.
himself a bonus for
A
delivering
bonus.
the stadium a year
I'm
late.
Yeah, it
aware-
doesn't sound
I
like
understand
that.
how greedy Daniel Levy is, but I also know he's most likely a narcissist by the way he behaves, the way he wields his power within the club, and my inference
you're
from that,
confusing him.
assuming he's a narcissist,
You know
is
what,
also
Kieran?
that
You know what,
he
Kieran?
would
Kieran.
want to seem powerful.
No,
in
Kieran,
the
you're
media
confusing him with
by
Abramovich.
rejecting a powerful
That's
entity
Abramovich.
like Manchester City.
No, that's Abramovich. Abramovich is a narcissistic, egotistical motherfucker. When he saw Spurs, and listen, that's not against him. That's actually a good trait that he has. When he saw Spurs for
I don't
Kawande,
know
he doesn't
about
even
that.
need a center back. This motherfucker doesn't even need a center back. But as soon as he saw Spurs for Kawande and he saw that deal break down, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna give Daniel Levy right up his ass, and I'm gonna fucking offer Kawande a deal." That's a narcissist. That's an egotistical asshole.
Here we go,
making
Kieran.
those
I'm in a
decisions
betting.
himself,
Kieran,
honestly.
I'm in
I
a
think he
betting.
just coughs up the money, really.
I'm in another betting mood. I've got $100 on with Brian Island. I will bet you another $100 that if a bid of 150 or whatever the magic number is comes in, Daniel Levy accepts it.
That's crazy. You're throwing that much hundreds. That's crazy, man.
I'll bet you $100 if the bid comes in of
American or
whatever the
Canadian?
number is. He's whatever. Do you know what? I'm in such a good mood. We'll make it American.
100 Canadian sounds good.
100 you-
Okay, so
It's like
that's
$75. I mean, that's
now,
that sounds
Kieran,
good to me.
just
100
remember,
Canadian.
this bet is only valid if a legitimate offer comes in that it's broadcasted. Harry Kane bid 100 and whatever million. Let's say 150 and above.
I just don't think he sells them for 150 million.
So do you want to take the bet?
Yeah,
Bro,
I
he
mean,
sells-
I guess, sure. I mean, 'cause I don't think he's gonna.
That's
Yeah.
200. That's 200. One from Brian and one from you, mate.
That's only, but
I
no.
don't
But just to
think he's
declare,
gonna
just
do
to make it clear, that's only if a bid does happen. That's
Of
the only
150
way
or
the
higher.
bet. That's the only way the bet becomes valid.
Not if the deal
All right.
goes through, whether Levy accepts it.
Accepts
no,
the bid.
I'm with Brian. He
Wait,
accepts
how would
it.
we
He
know?
can't-
How would we
Levy-
know for sure he's accepted the bid unless the deal goes
Oh,
through?
Kane would.
Well, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Like everyone's saying, he said he's staying. He said he's staying. If they accept the offer, it is down to Harry Kane to make talks. Now, if Harry Kane talks or not, that doesn't matter because Levy's accepted the bid of 150 or higher.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
so
Harry
you
Kane,
want to say Levy accepted?
Yeah,
accepts
if
the
that
bid
official bid comes in, and believe me, if an official bid comes in, it will dominate the world.
How you would
What's
know? How you would
today?
know is you would see a
Wait,
report
is
that
the deadline
says
day tomorrow?
Tuesday.
No, it's
No,
Tuesday.
Tuesday, 11
afternoon.
p.m. UK time.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll take that bet. Yeah,
There we go.
absolutely.
we go.
Absolutely.
listen, in my opinion, I'm with Brian, man. I see 150 million. I see Daniel Levy stabbing his own grandmother for 150
Mate,
million.
stabbing, he'll murder. He'll
You know
stab,
what I
he'll
mean?
throw off the sky, he'll do everything for
Like,
150.
I just
that
think-
man will do anything for
That would be
150
peak
million.
Levy if he did it.
This man will do anything for 5 million, let alone 150 million. I see this man literally put our club in jeopardy for just 5 million. You know what I mean? This guy is the
okay.
same guy that
Yeah.
would that is still haggling about fucking Tomiyasu for $2 fucking million.
This is
Or
also the
$2
guy who
million.
went out and hired.
I said, I'm so happy you're here. You're
Paratici.
keeping my rage down to a minimum. You really are completing me, brother.
This is also the guy who went out and hired Paratici because of all the heat that was on him from the fan base at the end of last season. So he hired a guy to cover for him. You know,
Yeah, but that's not
I
an ego. That's just a
But
snake.
there's no cover. If he agrees to sell Kane on deadline day, there's no cover. It's everyone
He's
will
not
know
coming
it's
back
him.
from that.
And
He
it
doesn't
won't
care.
even be just
He
Enoch out
doesn't
people who are pissed.
care.
It'll be
Daniel
everyone.
Levy,
He
if you are
doesn't
watching,
care.
you're a bald-headed.
He doesn't, Kieran. He doesn't. Kieran, do you think he cared when he sold Berbatov and fucking Robbie Keane in the same window? Do you think he
It's
gave a
not-
fuck?
That was just a long time ago. The club is a
What
different
do you-
club now.
What do you mean? We're
The
still
size
Tottenham.
of
We
Yeah,
no,
but
no.
the size
We were a
of the
big
the
club
size
back
of the
then.
market.
Yeah,
We
Kieran,
were a big club back then.
Bigger
We-
now because of Son, because of Kane, because of the
but Kieran-
Champions League. We're a much
Kieran,
bigger.
whether,
Kieran,
whether,
we had
whether
the
it was a
two
different
best
world or not, whether it was a different time or not, we still had a billionaire owner. We had a chairman that's apparently a Spurs fan who sold one striker and then sold another on deadline day with no cover because it was a British transfer fee.
And you can ask,
hey, listen, I
and you can
understand.
ask this,
I know that, but
and you can ask Brian this. At that time, we had a lot. We had the season before was pretty poor, but if we brought in a couple players, we probably would have. That team could have been a very good team. We could have been cooking, right? We had the two best front strikers, front two in the whole entire league, Robbie Keane and Berbatov. If we had built around them, we could have been a top team.
So
but what did he do? He chose the easy way out. What scenario are we in right now? We have the two best.
Yep.
Hold on. We have the two best forwards, and if we build around them, we can have a top team again.
it's just.
But what's the easy way out,
Kane-
Kieran?
but
What's
the
the
thi-
easy
it's-
way
it's-
out?
But it's not, because Kane is worth more to Spurs than 150 million pounds.
Not to
And
Levy.
whatever that,
But
yes,
not to
even
Levy.
he understands in pure business terms, which is why he values him higher than that.
Not to Levy.
They've already pushed for that much. He values him
He
at
hasn't
200
pushed for that. They
or
haven't
higher
given an offer.
because of the
Kieran,
revenue he brings in to
Kieran,
Tottenham, because of the business side, because of the money. He brings in more than
Kieran,
that.
what do you think it does to a club when they win the Premier League?
I mean,
Let me ask you that. What do you think it does to a club when you win a Premier League?
I mean, a lot of things. I mean, you do.
It
Obviously, you
grows
win a
the club,
shitload of
right?
prize money. You grow the club.
Yeah.
You can bring
Okay.
in better players. Yeah, you
Right.
Go to, you
So when
play
we
the
were in
Champions
Pochettino and we were in the prime position to win the Premier League and we needed 3 more signings and we could have signed Jack Grealish for 15 million, we could have
Okay.
signed Mane. No, hold on, and we could have signed Mane for 20 million, and we could have signed who was the other lad?
do you want
Why
the
are
list?
you saying these
No,
things
no,
to
no,
me
no,
that
no,
I,
no.
like I
Because-
don't know and agree with you?
No,
Like,
because but you're saying no, because you just said that you think that Levy knows and understands the amount of profit that Kane gets in the football pitch. He doesn't care
no, I'm
what
not
goes
talking
on in the
about on the
football pitch.
football pitch.
He doesn't
I'm
care.
not talking about on the football pitch. I'm talking in marketing, in merchandising,
He
and
doesn't
that kind
care.
of shit.
He
That
cares
is
about
what
the
brings
money.
in the money.
No, and that's exactly
and
my
putting
point.
butts in seats and getting
No,
people
no.
to subscribe to
Exactly,
fucking
and that's
shit to
exactly
watch
my
him
point.
play. That's what I'm
Winning
talking
the
about.
Premier League increases your market by tenfold. I guarantee you, once Liverpool won the Premier League, their stock just rose 100 times.
And I agree. I'd rather try and win the Premier
so
League.
if this
but like,
guy,
I don't.
So
I
if
don't
this guy had that sense, he would have made those signings. He doesn't care about that shit. He cares about the quick money and the quick fix. He's like a fucking drug addict.
So
I don't.
Kieran, what I want to do, I'm going to give you two examples
I know
here.
that, and I agree with you. I agree. That is his history. I just think things are different now. The stakes are higher, and Kane is worth more to Spurs than Man City will ever be able to pay or want to pay. And fucking Levy knows that, and he's got 3 years on his contract, and it's a publicity win for Levy if he refuses to sell. Everything, like it would be such a terrible decision to sell Kane so late in the window. It would be unbelievable. It would be a scandal.
But what I will say first of all is when it comes to marketing and value, that is why it was imperative we got Son, because Son brings in multiple times more than Kane will ever even get close to. So that was
of course
that was the main one to get. That was the main one to get. And this is the other thing why we talk about it. And I'm just using this season to talk. If Kane is staying, and what I thought doesn't happen, he wanted to leave because we didn't match his ambition. Now, if you want to keep the best striker in the world and match his ambition, you go and spend. You go and say, listen, this is what we are doing. I want you to stay. Your money and your value means more to me than anything. So rather than this 150 million I could get for you,
we all knew
I'm going
Levy wouldn't spend.
But no, but
we all
apparently,
knew that.
see, this is the other thing. When we got Paratici,
But that's his point.
Paratici could do a world of good. Could do a world of good for us, and it looks like he's getting players of a certain caliber that we couldn't attract before. But our model, as he has, is buy young, sell more.
Yeah.
Luis Campos was the exact person for the job in that model. In that model, this guy signs Ronaldo 90 million, signs this here, signs that there. Campos finds absolute gems and turns them into the biggest diamond you could see. He was the perfect one for the job, but we had to go and get Paratici because of his European pedigree. It's just that it's round pegs in square holes, or whatever they say with that saying. But this is the thing. When it comes to the money Kane brings in, it don't come close to Son. It doesn't even touch the surface.
Yeah,
and what we should have done this summer, rather than, if you look at it, I'm just going to take Harry Kane from the Aston Villa game to the start of the Euros. Okay, just that time. Whilst he was training at Tottenham's training ground with England, or St George's, whatever they call it, we had Pochettino, rumour, went down. Conte, rumour, went down. Fonseca, rumour, went down. What was the Gattuso, rumour, went down. We had players that were linked. Tomiyasu, we can't sign him because he's at the Olympics, but wait a minute, we've signed Brian Hill, who, funnily enough, was in the same country at the Olympics. He's seeing this and going, do you know what? Even if I gave them, they haven't even done anything. If they'd got Conte in, not that it was ever, it'd been right, that's a statement. This guy's a serial winner. Or if it'd been Poch, who was never coming, okay, they're bringing my man back who made me. Just every move we could have made to make Kane just think that for once we're not bullshitting and we mean business.
Of course,
and we have
Paratici.
I
recognize that Levy doesn't give a shit about showing Kane anything because Kane has 3 years left on his contract.
Listen,
He's in a holding
Levy
hostage.
gives a shit. It's either pay what I want for my player, or he has 3 years on his contract.
Which is 150, which we're talking about.
Listen, Levy has. I agree with 100% with Brian.
Levy, he wants closer to 200. He's
that
not
may
going
be
to
in his
accept
dreams,
150
but his
million.
minimal is 150.
I don't think he'll accept it.
I can't wait to take your money,
understands-
Kieran. I'm looking forward to it, buddy. I'm looking forward to it.
Levy
He's not
understands
going to even go to
nothing.
them in the first place.
Levy understands nothing about fucking football. I absolutely agree with you, Brian.
He doesn't need to understand football.
No. He does. No. Because the thing
for
is,
him, it's all about the money. We agree.
No.
No, if he's
needs-
making the decisions, he needs to know about
He needs to
Well, I
understand
mean,
football. Karen.
That's
Let me.
not what I meant. You know, I
let me explain
agree that he should, but for what Daniel Levy cares about, which is, I hate Daniel Levy as much as all of you guys. I don't understand
No,
where
you
the
don't.
fucking
But
history
I'm all by
lesson
myself
or
on that
any
one,
of this
trust
shit
me.
is coming from. I despise this man. I've always ranted against him. I'm not defending him in this situation. I just think that even he could not possibly be so fucking stupid as to make this mistake and sell Harry Kane on deadline day.
He is
It
that
would
fucking
be
stupid. And let me explain you
outrageous.
this. Let me explain this to you. And Brian just made the perfect example, right? What's Daniel Levy's model that he always says? We're a buy to sell club. We like buying young talent. We like doing this and we like doing that. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Don Paratici. He is a Don. He's a winner. But Paratici has dealt with a lot of money in Juventus. He is a guy that is mostly known for a lot of money. Now, Daniel Levy had the choice between Luis Campos, who is fantastic, like Brian said, fantastic at signing young talent and buying gems, right? Which is our business model, right? But he saw Paratici, who was in the big club Juventus, who spent the big money, who looks like a Ferrari. You know what I mean? It's like a little. It's like a dumb.
That's why I wanted Jose Mourinho too.
It's like a dumb. It's like a dumb child. When you see for example,
this is what I'm talking about. His vanity, his narcissism.
Do you know what?
In New
We'll
England,
just
I see some of my friends. They get sports cars.
This is
but
what
then
I'm
they can't
talking
drive
about,
in the
though,
snow.
because of that vanity and that narcissism, he will want to show that he is tougher, more powerful than Manchester City, who wins the league time and time again. That he is superior because he can hold on to this player and say no and reject the money and no, because we have enough money, because we make money, because we're a business and we're run the right way, because we're run by me. Like that's
Kieran,
the kind of thinking I'm thinking.
I have to say, and I'm going to wrap this up in a nice tidy bow because Will just said a name, and this is going to prove the stupidity of this parasite. Jose Mourinho. He wanted him for 20 years. He has watched him over every single club he's gone and has seen him at close quarters in England manage at Manchester United and Chelsea. He's looked at Real Madrid, Inter, wherever you want to look.
Marcelo ran away again.
That man has a model where he comes in, he spends millions, hundreds of millions, wins a league, and goes away. He was not the man for the job. It would have angered the fans as it did. We knew he wasn't going to get the money, but because of his ego and because of his stupidity, he brought in Jose Mourinho, who did not give him the backing. We all know, even at United, where he didn't win a league, he won a Europa League and a Carling Cup or Carabao, whatever the fuck that cup was called at the time. He won 2 trophies in his first season. He gets back with millions. He comes, he spends, he wins, he destroys, he goes. He came to Tottenham.
Yeah.
He had 20 years of scouting, this dude. But because of his ego, he had to go and appoint Marcelo, my brother, good night, man, love you. But he had to go and appoint Mourinho because he knew best when he doesn't. So, like I said, this whole conversation is he may want 100 in his head when Daniel Levy does something like we all do, like when you're selling a house or your car or whatever. You have your market value that you're going to like top dollar that someone says to you, I'm going to take, and then you have like the wiggle room, and you have right, I'm not or nearest offer, and that's the bottom. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Daniel Levy blatantly wants 200 million. In fact, I think he wants more than Neymar so he can have the world record. But I feel that 150 or above is where he'll be like, okay, let's talk. That's where the starting block is. You've got to remember, we keep saying he's got 3 years of his contract left. He's going to be 29. If he gets another big ankle injury and he's out for a bit of time, his value goes down. What you also have to remember is next season, Mbappe is available. Haaland's transfer, what's it called? The release clause of 75 million comes in. So you look at clubs now and they're like, do I spend 70 million on a Haaland or whatever it is for Kane a year later for a shorter time period, or even going for Mbappe? Next season for strikers, the world's the big spenders oyster, sorry. So I just feel right now you're right with this 3-year contract, but I just think Harry Kane's ceiling, because his contract's only going to keep winding down now unless we give him a contract with that release clause. So I think Harry Kane's peak selling price right now is the next 48 hours.
I mean, I agree, but
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he has the balls to do it. I mean,
he's got the balls. He's got the stupidity. Do you know what? Have you all seen that movie Snatch?
yeah, I fucking love that
So Snatch
movie.
is one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, Vinnie Jones, who was Bullet Till Tony, I don't know if you remember the line, but I'm going to quote it. When he's going up to the 2 black jewelers when they've got in the car and he taps on his gun and he says, never underestimate the predictability of stupidity. That was made for him. That was, if there's ever a saying, because that's what we've got to look at. Like I said, I hope and pray Harry Kane stays. I want him to beat Jimmy Greaves' record minimum. I want him to beat Shearer's record at Tottenham. But I'm not ruling the fact, and I think Will was saying as well that he's Will, you're in agreement with me with this situation, correct?
Of
this Kane saga's not over and maybe a bid is coming in or whatever.
I think that maybe they can make a bid, but I've been saying the whole window that I don't think Kane's going anywhere. And the reason why my logic on that is I saw the way that Daniel Levy, unless the amount of money comes in, right? But City's already said several times that they're not going to pay 150 million for a guy with glass ankles who's 29. But if the money comes in, I think Daniel Levy does it. If the money doesn't come in, it's never going to happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. That I agree with.
Because I saw what he did with Christian Eriksen, and he basically told Christian Eriksen straight up in the documentary, look, we're in a hard spot.
Yep.
We don't have anybody to replace you. If the money doesn't come in, what I need to get for you, you're not going fucking anywhere. Period. And so unless City puts up what Daniel Levy wants, Kane's not going anywhere, regardless whether he wants to or not.
This is the whole point of the discussion. It's only if that number is hit. Yeah. And if City make it official, I think if there's an official bid come in, it's going to be around that number. They may do it a little bit lower just to get the media going, like frenzy and whatever. But I really, really think there's a bid coming in.
Yeah, I mean, if the bid comes in, I mean, I think they go anywhere north of 150. I think 165 is probably the magic number for me. But if they come in with a bid that Daniel Levy likes, he'll take it.
Exactly. Then this is why we've just got to hope that people like Vlahovic or strikers are still there. Because the one thing I will say with Paratici, which I have liked, I didn't like it at the beginning. Like Bob Spur, I hated that we courted so many players and we showed our hand, and it doesn't really. When you go for a player, you want to make them special and make them feel. I didn't think this was the right way to go about it. But what I'm realizing now is in these final 48 hours, it's going to be a huge advantage, because if we know we need to get a player in and quick, half these discussions have already begun. We're halfway down the line. So if a random team goes for a random player we've already had discussions with, they need to do all that stuff that we have already done. So we're kind of halfway down the line. So I think with this frenzy that it will be over the next 48 hours, I think the Paratici model of doing business is actually going to help us. Bless you, Abdul, brother.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me too, I don't know. I'm just really frustrated that, look, this whole, one for the future. I've been hearing about ones for the future for the last 12 fucking years.
That phrase is so annoying.
And Brian's been hearing it for the last 20. So for me, it's just, it drives me absolutely insane. And that's what this whole Brian Hill thing's about. It's nothing personal against Brian Hill. I think Brian Hill is a good player, right? My rejection of Brian Hill had nothing to do with him individually. It's the fact that he is 20 years old, right? He's never been a first team starter in a Premier League club, right? For me, my issue with Brian Hill was, okay, yeah, it's great. He has some things that look good. Yeah, he may be a little one-footed, but it does nothing to help us this season.
Like the Sarr deal.
It's not an immediate need.
Yeah, like the Sarr deal. All these deals. Oh, Sarr's a baller. Sarr's a baller. I could give a fuck if Sarr's a baller because he's not playing with us this year.
Yep. The money we need now. It's amazing how the money we need for now we haven't got, but money for the future.
Yeah, we've got plenty of for the future.
We just need to just pluck it out of thin air, which is
we can spend 60 million pounds for the future, but we can't spend
extra 2 million for Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
It honestly beggars belief. That's the thing we've just got to look at. Now, obviously, people know with me and Levy, everything he says, first of all, I know it's a lie, and I evaluate it with a fine-tooth comb. And it's just the amount of times he just does exactly the opposite of what he's saying. It's like even this week when we said, or last week when we said we haven't got money, we've got to bring in money to spend money. Well, apparently we spent 180 million pounds on property last week. So it's like, oh, okay, so that money we've got to bring in, you've just got to spend 180 million on it outright. It's like, oh, okay, so that wouldn't have helped the team. It's just you have to analyze it, and
yeah, I mean it's ever since since we passed on Jack Grealish. You know what I mean? And what did we use that money for? Jack Clark and freaking who else? I mean,
it was Ndombele, but this is the thing as well. You got to remember that was after 18 months of not spending a penny. We scrimped on Jack Grealish.
Yeah, but we spent more on Jack Clark and Ndombele than what it would have cost to bring Grealish in.
Yep.
And look how those two signings worked out for us.
Well, that's what we do. We get rid of a player for big money, and then rather than replacing them with genuine quality, we spend more than the original price we got for the player on replacements that don't work.
People for the future.
People for the future, or they didn't work out, or it's just like
this is my only point to Marcel. And if you're still listening, Marcel, do this. You said the exact same things about Ndombele when he first came to the club as you're saying about Brian Hill. And look, it is unarguable that Ndombele was more successful in Liga than Brian Hill was in La Liga. And look how Ndombele turned out. All I'm going to say. I'm not saying Brian Hill's going to be Ndombele. What I'm saying is that it's possible. Why? Because we don't know. We don't know the kind of player Brian Hill is going to be in the Premier League. We don't know. We can ponder. I think he looked great against PDF. Right? He looked great against PDF in that second leg.
Every time you say that, I keep thinking you're going to send me an attachment.
Yeah.
Every time you say PDF, I'm like, okay, where's he sending me? It's like, and then I realise.
Pack us for.
Oh, PDF. Right. Instead of making the chocolate connection, I make the document connection.
I love the document connection now. I've got it, and I must admit, with us saying Brian Hill, every time I'm on streams or in the back end, when I keep hearing the word Brian, I'm like, what are you saying about me? And then I realise, wait a minute. So it's getting very confusing for me at the moment. But I will say, on that note, I'm going to go to Bedfordshire and have a good old sleep. But Will, honestly, I apologise I haven't been on recently. I love coming on your show and being with everyone. So it's always a pleasure to see you all. And I'll end with my favourite 2 words. Levy out.
Levy out.
Levy out. Thank you, Brian, for coming on. You're always welcome. Although I am sincerely offended that you don't come on more often. I'm just playing. But yeah, guys, anything else that's going on for Kieran? You out too?
Yeah, I was also gonna head out as well. Sorry, but yeah,
all right.
I'm also sorry for not being on as much recently. But it seems like the internet issues are being solved. So
See, mine
I'll
got
be
better.
around,
I moved to Atlanta and ended up, going from 500 megabytes down and 20 meg up to 1,000 down and 1,000 up. So
damn. Oh god.
Nice.
fiber, baby, fiber.
No. Oh god. I wish.
Amen.
And they're running fiber out to a development that's being built like I don't know, like 10
Yeah, it's
miles
always
from
the
where I
worst.
live. But I'm up on the mountain, so I don't get in.
No joke. I uploaded a 6 gigabyte video in 6 minutes the other
That's
day.
insane.
It's
That
awesome.
is insane.
Hella speed.
The things you
I'm not
sacrifice
even
when you
exaggerating.
leave
That
the
31-minute
civilization.
1080p video that I clipped from our Harry Kane debate that we had the other night took 6 minutes to upload.
Wow.
6 minutes.
Sheesh.
Amazing, man.
That's awesome.
That's efficiency right there.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll be back around. You know I will.
I was
And
totally teasing you, dude.
I gotta
But thank you.
peace and love
Peace
you,
and
Brian.
love.
Yeah.
Check out my channel, Spurs After Dark.
Yeah, plug your channel.
Yeah, it's Spurs After Dark. You can find me on YouTube and on Twitter, and we'll be back streaming again because we got internet, baby. 3 fucking wins,
Oh, yeah.
3 fucking goals, and 0 goals conceded. Come on, you Spurs!
Nice.
Woo! That's for Shimu. And Brian Daigle, for people that don't know, he has a new channel called Tottenham on Tour. Make sure you go ahead and check that out. Subscribe to their channel as well.
Yeah, boys, I think I'll be ducking out here too. I've got an early morning and I still have to fold my laundry.
Yeah, and
So-
also too, don't be scared by what happened earlier, right? That's normal here, and I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
2, when you come on stream, you gotta stick your foot in the door, right? You gotta jump in there.
Do that next time. I'll be back next
Because
week.
the number one rule for THFCRants is you gotta have. So you shouldn't do your laundry while you're on the stream. You should wait when you have lots of man smell on your laundry.
Okay.
Come on the stream.
Yes.
And Brian, don't even. But yeah, it was great having you on. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts next time. So please do come on again. Please do.
And for sure, man, I'll be back next week. It was
Alrighty, great.
fun experience.
We will have
Exotic,
one weekend
fun,
stream. We
incredible.
will have one late night rant stream next week. Obviously, there's no match
Yeah.
next weekend, but we will have one either Saturday or Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. Might even do it Friday night after the
Oh, that'll be
the
brilliant.
the two Bryans over there on Tottenham on Tour. But thanks for
And
coming
I'll-
on, fella.
And no problem, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, anytime, Jake.
Going, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Thanks for coming out. You've been great.
Appreciate it.
Also, we need to have a little recap of our final Tottenham squad after the transfer window. I don't think you
Oh, that's a good
answered the
idea.
question.
Yeah, recap.
I think you kind of went on your washroom break when we're kind of answering the question of who do we want to come in, or I think the question was there's 2 days left in the transfer window, practically 2 days. Do you see us bringing anybody in, and who would that player be, and who would you want to come in the next 2 days? You're completely narcissistic, but then you won't be hearing from me. Hilarious. Yeah. So, who do you think we're going to be bringing somebody in these next 2 days? Who do you want to come in and yeah.
Aaron, I hope you're joking. If you're not, that's cool. That's your perspective. But yeah, it's not narcissistic for me to hold a debate with somebody. If somebody's accusing me of something on my own channel, for me to defend myself isn't narcissistic. But I'm sorry if you're offended. I already apologized once to you before while you were still here. But yeah, I don't know what to say. Right?
It happens, man. It's arguments, man. It's just football arguments. This is, also the question we were talking about, what's more annoying about Brian Hill fans or MJ fans? I think you have to replace MJ fans with LeBron fans. LeBron fans is by far the most annoying fan base. By far the most annoying fan base. Let me tell you that from experience. I'm telling you, man. LeBron fans, it's different. So, yeah, Will Stewart, do you see Tottenham bringing anybody in these next 2 days?
Do I see Tottenham bringing anyone in for the next few days? No, I do not. I hope we do. For crying out loud, I hope we do. But I don't necessarily think that it's. I just don't think there's enough time. I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff does happen on deadline day sometimes, but we've never really been a kind of a deadline day club. I mean, like last year was dead on deadline day. And,
yeah, when I think of deadline days of Tottenham, I think of Sissoko. That's the name that comes into mind. And we paid a lot of money for him, so we're not afraid to make a stupid purchase on the last day. So, but I do think we're gonna get somebody in. I do think we'll pick up a Tomiyasu of some sort. And yeah. How long do your streams usually go for? Do you wait for do you go until a certain time?
No, so as long as after it goes through 2 hours, we're good to go. So if we want to bounce out, we'll wrap it up and we'll go. We don't have to keep going for the next 20 minutes. But normally 3 hours is the max, so it's anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. That's usually what
How many people is watching right now still?
35 are watching right now. Yeah. So usually
shout out to everybody still watching, man. That's a great fan base you got there. And don't be if you want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, look, man, this is, believe it or not, my show, right? I do run the channel, and I invite people onto the channel. And if somebody comes on my channel, who just like Marcelo, who's a good friend of mine, Marcelo will come on my channel again because it's not personal, right? And when people are trying to shut me down on my own channel, is it rude for me to tell them not to shut me down on my own channel? And like I apologized to you while you were still on stream. Yes, that is true. There are people like you who support the channel, and I appreciate your support. I really do. But I don't appreciate people coming on my show and telling me that I need to stop talking, which is what you did. But like I said, Aaron, I apologized to you while you were on the stream, and I told you that it wasn't anything personal, right? It was in the heat of an obviously heated debate with Marcelo, right? And you and I have had heated debates before, and we've always been cool, right? When you first started coming to the channel, there were some comments that you made in the comments, and I called you out then. I think of you as a good friend. I'm not sure I lost it. Did I lash out in the heat of a debate? Yes, I did, and I apologize for it, and I'm apologizing again. If you want to continue to hold that against me, then that's your prerogative. But I don't think that it's wrong for me to expect people to not tell me what to do on my own channel. I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation. Right? Like I would never come onto your channel and tell you how to run your show. I just wouldn't do it. And Aaron, like I said, that's totally up to you, mate. I'm sorry you feel that way.
I do understand where Aaron is coming from. I think I'm not trying to tell you how to run your channel. I think there needs to be like an end to a round. You know, like in a boxing match, Tyron Woodley lost a fight to Jake Paul, just saying, but whatever, yeah. In a boxing match, there's an ending to a round, because if there's no ending, they'll just go on forever. And when do we stop? I think when does that argument stop? Until you guys are both tired, and don't you feel like that's a little bit too long? There needs to be like okay, you guys made your points, because at some point you guys were kind of spewing the same arguments back, and I was like, okay, you guys said this already. Now let's kind of move on. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and we eventually did, though, on its own, naturally. And see, here's the problem, right? This is the problem, okay? And this is the problem that I have with group chat arguments and all kinds of stuff. No one asked you to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? No one asked for you to do that. And in fact, if you go back and rewatch it, the conversation that me and Marcel had that was very heated really only lasted about 27 minutes. So out of a 2.5-hour stream, it's actually a very small piece of it, right? And I understand that sometimes conflict and calling people out or doing whatever can make people feel uncomfortable. I understand that. But when people are trying to interject into it, like I think Cody is very good at it, right? Cody is very good at interjecting in a way that calms things down. And you have to understand too, this is me and Marcelo, right? Like there's a whole show that I did the artwork for called Frenemies, where it's an hour and a half of David and Marcelo yelling at each other, right?
I love those shows.
Yeah, I do too. But that's what I'm saying. But Aaron, see, this is your opinion, my friend. But Aaron, we weren't in a place to get other people's views, right? After me and Marcelo brought the level down, then other people got their views in. Did they not? They did.
Okay, it was 27 minutes, but at what point is it too long? An hour? You think so? At what point is it like, okay, we made both of our points. I understand where you're coming from. You understand where I'm coming from. This is getting too long.
Right, but that's the problem is Marcelo wasn't understanding where I was coming from, right? And if it would have been just like a normal debate where he wasn't accusing me or asserting that I said things that I didn't say, I wouldn't have got as heated, right? The only thing that gets me wound up is somebody says, you said something when I didn't say that. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure it went full Jerry Springer.
Jerry.
But that makes for good TV, right?
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
I hope you change your mind, Aaron. I hope you do. I hope after a couple days or so that you change your mind. Look, in the end, I'm a small channel, right? And trust me, I greatly appreciate everyone who watches the show, everyone who subscribed to the channel. Yeah, I don't let them ruin relationships and friendships. I don't take any of this personally, right? I'm told to fuck off and piss off and all kinds of things. I'm called all kinds of names. and I don't take it personally. If it's in context, if it's made personal, right? Like if I would have lashed out and called you a name, that I could understand you being upset with me, right? But if I raise my voice and I say, don't fucking tell me what to do on my own show, right? Or if you don't like it, you can go. I'm not calling you as an individual something bad, am I? Right? I don't think that I am. You may not like the fact that I called you out on you trying to interject and tell me how to run the program, or when I should accept Marcelo's false accusations of my position. Right? I understand that. I'm not saying you called me a name. I never said that you called me a name. Right. But again, Aaron, that's your opinion. But Aaron, there's no need for me to. You told me to stop. Right. You interrupted a conversation that I was having with Marcelo. I understand that there's other people on the show, right? But you gotta let me and Marcelo run it out, because we will eventually run it out. Me and Marcelo have been friends for longer than I've had a channel, right? So, but yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I just want to make like one last point, I guess.
Sure, go ahead.
There's like, I don't know, you said there was like 35 people watching, and there's probably like 30 people still watching, around that number.
Yeah, 32.
What's so great about this THFC Rants Will Stewart is, there's a link there that's free to hop on. There's no membership to hop on. You just click that link and you just join in. You can stay in for as long as you want. I've been on this thing for about 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. Anybody that's out there still watching, 30 people, feel free. I want to see new faces. I want to see new people making an appearance in this chat. Because believe us, none of us here are some football geniuses. None of us here have anything that's super special that you guys can't think of yourself. The beautiful thing about football is it's up to your interpretation. The same way Marcelo views Brian Hill is a different way how Will Stewart views Brian Hill. The same player, they do the same moves, they're wearing the same jersey. So come on here, have your interpretation. For me personally, I think Steven Bergwijn is shit. I don't think he's a good player. There's a lot of people out there who are fans of him and still think that he deserves to still play 90 minutes and deserves that he still they believe that he still deserves to play for Tottenham Hotspur, and I don't. Come in here, make your points. We'll definitely listen to your points and we'll move on. And it's great because I learn a lot from the people that I talk with. I've learned a lot from Brian Daigle. I've learned a lot from Will Stewart, from Aaron, from everybody here. So feel free just to come in. Even if you're camera shy, you can block out your camera. None of us will see your face. Just come in here and just have fun, man. I want to see new faces in here. It'll be fun. So feel free to come.
And I want to see new faces in here. I really do. And to be honest with you, the show doesn't always go the way that it went for that 27 minutes. It doesn't. That's not what there are nights when it is like that. There are nights when it's worse than that. Would you agree that there have been nights when it's worse than what it's been right now? Tonight?
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. But you have to understand, too, that both me and Marcelo are fiery people, right? I am very black and white. I don't take well to people accusing me of holding beliefs that I don't have. And, that was only my point. And look, I would never, the only thing that I would say, there's been times when there have been other people, this is on my show, if you can remember, Abdul, where they've been going at each other. Marcelo and, if you remember, what's the guy's name who's the Jose fan, who was an actor?
He was on the show Power. He's bald.
Yeah. I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They were having a similar yelling match, right? And the only thing I interjected was, don't talk over each other. We can't hear you. Right? But I didn't tell him to stop. Right? When this thing goes on in my show, I kick back and listen. No, like, yeah, Brandon. Thank you, Scott M. Brandon,
that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back.
Brandon Dixon. Yes, Brandon Dixon.
Brandon Dixon. Yes.
Yeah. Eunice, come on. Right. There's been a lot of times when there's been really heated debates on this channel. In fact, I held a whole debate show with Marcelo and Jason M. If you guys remember. And the reason why is because they were on Twitter going at each other, calling each other all kinds of names. Right. So I actually held a debate on my channel because of that. What's up, Perane? I'm sorry. Correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
No, it's right. Hi.
Well, I mean, how do you pronounce it? I don't want to intentionally pronounce it wrong.
It's Pranay. It's Pranay.
Okay, Pranay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Pranay. And Aaron, because Pranay joined, this is the last. I'm going to respond, but I didn't put you down. Right. See, your question here for trying to break up a silly argument that was offside is your opinion, right? Someone telling me what I think to me isn't silly, right? It may have been silly to you as an outside person, but it wasn't silly to me. And for you to tell me, talk about something else, is, in my opinion, out of line.
Yeah, but it wasn't him specifically telling you to talk about another argument. It was more so of like telling both you and Marcelo if we can just kind of let other people interject their own opinion. Because even though you guys have two separate opinions, there are people who agree with Marcelo and there's also people who agree with you. So if you can just let other people just kind of interject their opinion and kind of see where the chips fall. So it wasn't specifically telling you, Will Stewart, yeah, you need to keep quiet and you need to change the topic. It was basically just saying, let's ask other people and let's see what they have to say.
I don't disagree that that's a good thing, but there's a time and a place for that, right? Like, it wasn't me who muted you guys, right? Cody did. There's a point when Cody muted people on the channel, correct?
No, he just said just keep quiet, and we just kept quiet.
I mean, no, he actually.
Oh, did he actually? I kept quiet, so he probably actually did mute.
Yeah,
I was just chilling.
He muted Talking Ball.
Probably, yeah,
right?
Probably did.
Yeah, and he muted a couple other people. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the private chat, but I didn't mute anyone. Okay. I don't have a problem with people interjecting and doing whatever. What I do have a problem with is people telling me to stop, right? Like, if I'm in the middle of making a point and someone interjects and says, what does Abdul have to say about it? It's not that I don't want to hear what Abdul has to say. I do. I have to finish my point first, right? And then we can hear what Abdul has to say, right? If that conversation would have continued on, I wouldn't have had any problem with it. In fact, I would actually like to know what Abdul has to think about that particular topic. Right? I would.
Yeah.
My issue with Aaron, and the reason why I called him out, you can go back and watch it, was that he interrupted the question and answer session the debate that I was having with Marcelo, and tried to bring the level down when that's not, when I'm already here. I'm not concerned about bringing the level down to here, right? But if you noticed, and Abdul, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the level came down to there on its own, did it not?
Yeah, after but a long time after, it's obviously going to come down after a while. Y'all can't argue for 2 straight hours. I mean,
no, we could.
I mean,
me and Marcelo could, but But no, when mine came down, right? If you'll notice, if you go back and rewatch it, it's very interesting. If you go back and rewatch it, when my heat came down was when Marcelo admitted, right? Because I said, what you're saying is fine, but it's just your subjective opinion. And he said, yeah. And then that's when mine immediately came down. And then when I kind of switched the script to say, can he win the Ballon d'Or next year? And I was being overly boisterous about that, right? Like intentionally, right? I was being, right. That's when Marcelo's level came down. True?
I mean, somebody has to, like, in order for you to kind of to drop Marcelo's energy, you kind of had to go to like a different approach, and then you kind of you became like, sarcastic, I guess, when you were saying again Brian Hill. I mean, somebody has to make that. You took initiative upon yourself to kind of lower the tone and lower the energy by making your sarcastic comments. Maybe you could have done that earlier on. Basically, I guess that probably
could have. Yeah, but when you're in the heat of an argument, are you really thinking about that?
I mean, what caused you to go towards that approach 27 minutes in?
When Marcelo admitted that it was just as an opinion, and he was no longer saying that I was wrong, or that I had said this, right? My only objection with Marcelo saying, I don't necessarily even disagree with Marcelo that Brian Hill's going to. I do think that Brian Hill is going to be or has a high probability of being a good player for us in the future. I don't disagree with that opinion at all. My disagreement was based on his assertion that I was somehow being negative and or putting down Brian Hill when I haven't. Right? I haven't done that.
I think where Marcelo came from was because when you were kind of like explaining his profile and how good Brian Hill is, you went to his stats, which obviously makes sense. You go to his goal contributions, but sometimes the stats don't tell the full story. Like I said, he had one less goal contribution than Bukayo Saka last year. And we all like Bukayo Saka. We all think Bukayo Saka is a great player.
Yeah,
but
I'd have him at Tottenham.
Sorry, what? What you say?
I said I'd have him at Tottenham.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I would have Saka at Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all think he's a good player, and he only had one more goal contribution than Brian Hill last year, and Brian Hill is playing in a much shittier team. Ibar is extremely defensive. They're very lackluster. So based on that, it's like sometimes you can use stats to tell a different story. Like even though it is numbers and they are concrete, it all comes down to your interpretation. I mean, Adama Traore has shitty numbers in terms of goal contribution, but you read out the amount of key passes that he has. And he's not a player that, like when you think about a player with a lot of key passes, you usually think of a player that has that beautiful pass like a Christian Eriksen. But sometimes key passes, you can have key passes through your flair and through your pace rather than your passing ability. So that's what I mean. I'm like these numbers and these stats can tell a totally different story.
It was actually talking about Traore that even like the only reason why Marcelo even brought up Brian Hill was because we were talking about who was better, Lucas Moura or Adama Traore, right? So
Adama Traore,
yeah, I mean, I think by eye test and statistically, I think Adama Traore is a better player than Lucas Moura. But I mean, that's why he brought it up, right? That's why he brought it up. And so insinuating that because I only use stats, therefore I don't know what I'm talking about, for me, that was insulting, right? I was being insulted. And for me to not stand up for myself while I'm being insulted, whether Marcel meant to insult me or not, that's the way that I perceived it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're done? Okay, sorry, yeah. I don't want to enjoy. Yeah, but like you use Brian Hill's numbers to explain that he's not a player that can help us right now because his numbers wasn't that great. But it's like
ready-made.
Yeah, but I think he can make an impact. Yeah, I understand that he wasn't starting for the Olympics team, but like he had Marco Asensio starting ahead of him on one side, which is he's a Real Madrid player, and I don't know who's the winger on the other side, but I think he's a decent player. But like I don't really take that into account, like how
Right. I agree with you.
coach views a play. If you don't start for a team, I don't really care that he doesn't start for the Spanish national team because I see a lot of player that starts over other players that don't deserve to start. So
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. That's not my point. My point is what I'm against, right, is the claims, the assertions that are being made about him as being, the next Modric, the next Messi, right? Those kind of boisterous claims, like he's going to win the Ballon d'Or in 2 years, right? Like that's an absurd claim, right? We can all agree on that, right? I don't see any evidence right now to say that he is the next Modric or the next Lionel Messi. He very well could be. It's possible, sure. Right? All I'm wanting people to acknowledge is that we got to wait and see. Is that unreasonable? Is being reasonable unreasonable?
yeah, that does make sense. Obviously, you got to wait and see. He's still a young kid, and
Yeah, that's all I'm
you're
saying.
buying into the potential. Potential is easily like the most expensive factor when determining a player's transfer value. Yeah, he hasn't played any games in the Premier League, but again, by the eye test, like what Marcelo was referring to a lot, even though it was playing against PDF, he does look better than Steven Bergwijn. Bergwijn came in that same game against Pacos de Ferreira, and again, and he didn't look that much better, even though he was playing against the same team. I do think Bryan Hill does have what it takes to start in this team. Eye test wise, I do think he is a bit better than Bergwijn. He seems
And I'm not saying he doesn't. I hope that he does. Right? Look, at the end of the day, all that I want is us to win.
Yeah.
Right? I want the players that we sign. I want the players we sign to be phenomenal. Right? The only thing that makes me skeptical, and I think it's a rational reason to be skeptical, is there are so many examples in the past of it not, right? Us buying for the future and those players never coming to fruition, right? Jansen, Parrott, Clark. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on, where we've spent a lot of money on young players for the future who never make it in as regular starters in the squad. Right? And so I don't think...
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, so I don't think it is unreasonable to just say, yeah, Bryan Hill may have some things that look good, but he has some attributes to me that don't look good either. One, he's extremely left-footed, right? Which is not a benefit. And people excuse, there's a lot of great players who are left-footed or Muslim. Yeah, but those people are exceptions to the rule, not the norm, right? If every extremely left-footed player was extremely good, then that would be an argument, right? But it's not. It's Lionel Messi and, this great player, this great, right? I'm not saying it's impossible for an extremely left-footed player to be really good, right? But Eric Lamela, other than his first 2 seasons at Tottenham, wasn't very left-footed and wasn't good, right? So to use that as an argument to me is absurd. Logically, it's a non sequitur. The logic doesn't follow, right? And I'm sorry, Pranay, I hope you come back next time. It is kind of a... I didn't plan on rehashing this topic tonight, but it happened.
Yeah, we just have to... Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I feel like Aaron deserves an explanation from me, right? He's somebody that's been a follower of the channel for a long time, and if I've hurt his feelings and me explaining it, I may not give him the answer that he wants, but I think I owe him at least a response, right? I could have just ignored the comments in the chat and not brought him up in the first place.
And I think these last 20 minutes was pretty much just also explaining that situation in a much more calm, slower, just a much more thought out in these last 20 things.
He says, funny thing is, I've been in agreement with Will. I don't think Gil is a solution. I want a natural right winger. I agree with you, Aaron. My issue with you, Aaron, wasn't necessarily your opinion. My issue with you, Aaron, was not even that you wanted to bring in other people's opinions. My issue was that you were interrupting and trying to peacemake when I didn't need you to peacemake. Right? Like, Aaron, we have had blowouts. I mean, there was times when I called you out in the chat before I knew who you were and any of the things. Right, we hashed that out on Twitter, and you're a moderator in my chat now, right? Like, I mean, we've had worse. I've called you out directly, far worse than I did tonight, right? Not only that, but I apologized to you before you left the stream. Did I not? I told you, Aaron, sorry that I called you out, and it wasn't directed at it personally, and I hope you don't have any bad feelings. But if people DM'd you after the fact and got you upset again, I'm sorry, but I'm not those people. And to be honest with you, nobody's DM'd me. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, this pretty much is explaining everything. And I'm pretty much about to leave right now. Follow me on Twitter. Oh, shit, what's my Twitter?
Is it in your handle? I'll put it up on screen.
Abdul Kareem _15. Yeah, that's it. I'm back on my Twitter vibes. I'm back on my Twitter fingers.
Just have your regular name. You don't have your Twitter handle in your name.
It's whatever. Abdul Kareem, the same. Abdul Kareem _15. Like I said already, just one little key point that I kind of tweeted today, which I feel like I should have brought this up as a topic, but whatever. I just said that I hate it whenever clubs decide to give a player their opportunity right when another team decides to purchase them. So, like, for example, like lately we've been going in heavy for Emerson Royal, the Barcelona right back. He didn't get any starts. He only made like one appearance against Juventus in the preseason, and then now all of a sudden now we're starting to go in for him. He makes his first debut today against Getafe, and I think they purposely gave him that starting today, just to kind of tell Emerson Royal, listen, man, we believe in you. You're our future right back. And then right as soon as the transfer window closes, they're going to go back to playing Sergiño Dest at right back and kind of – I don't like it whenever teams do that. I feel like they're kind of just like whispering in their ear whatever they want to. Like another example was Callum Hudson-Odoi when he was managed by Maurizio Sarri. When Bayern Munich came in for Callum Hudson-Odoi, he wasn't playing at that point. Bayern Munich came in with a surprising like 15 or 20 million pound bid. It came out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden Chelsea, they gave him some starts. And I was like, I hate that. And then as soon as the transfer window ended, Callum Hudson-Odoi was back on the bench. And I don't really like it whenever teams do that. I feel like that's kind of slimy. But that's just a little tweet that I made today, Follow me on my Twitter. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much.
No, thank you for your and look, Abdul, I love having you on, and I love having everybody on.
Yeah.
Right? I do. I honestly do. Right? Look what I personally. Do you think that I make enough money from this channel to pay for all this? I don't. Not even close. Nowhere near close. Right? No super chats in this stream tonight at all. Not one. Right? This whole video might make a quarter. Right? So it's not like I do that, right? All of my memberships and Patreons combined is like, maybe $65 a month, right? Not that I'm not grateful for that. I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm extremely grateful for everyone who even comes on the stream in the first place. I'm extremely thankful for every person who likes the stream, who subscribes to the channel, who even watches the stream. I'm thankful for the people who get that one individual who thumbs down every single video that I upload. I'm thankful for that individual. Okay. But in the end, it is my channel. Right. And like Abdul, if you had a channel, I would never tell you how to run your channel. I wouldn't.
It's coming one day. One day.
And when you do, I will be on there, just like I go on everyone else's, right? And that's what people maybe don't know. I go on everyone else's channels. If anybody has a technical issue, what camera should I buy? What light should I buy? How do I do this? How do I do that? I make at least 50% of the, thumbnails and artwork for David's channel, right? Because I'm not about me, right? And that's why, like last night, when that guy came on and said, oh, the big YouTuber doesn't live within 15 minutes of a liquor store. That pissed me off. Why? Because I don't think of myself as some narcissistic, hoity YouTuber, right? Who's better than someone else. It's the exact opposite, right? I'm not in competition with anyone out there. I do my show. I focus on my content, right? But it's kind of like if I were to come over to your house, Abdul, and told you not to drink that, don't drink that milk, what would you say to me?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Right? I mean, what would you say?
Don't tell me what to
Don't tell me what to do in my own fucking house, right? This is my fucking house. Don't tell me not to drink my own milk. You know what I mean? And that was the only response that I had to Aaron, right? That was it. That in the heat of, I was already, right? Heated, right? And at that point, it was like someone telling me, right? Don't drink that milk. Let somebody else drink the milk. Right? And for me, it was like, it's my fucking milk. I'm going to drink it if I want to. You know what I mean? It wasn't personal. Why I apologized. But
yeah, man. It's not personal. It's just, this is what happens. It is what it is, man. It's football debate. It gets heated. It is what it is.
But I hope Aaron comes back.
Aaron, you will come back. We want you
I'm
back.
sure he will.
We need you.
We do want you back. I love having Aaron on the show.
Of course, man. We all do, bro. Come on. Of course. We need another.
And I love having Aaron in the chat as well. Not just on the show. I love it when he's on the show, but I also love it when he's in the chat. But anyway, guys.
A lot of topics. But anyways, yeah, peace out, everybody. Take care. Good night. Peace.
Thank you, Abdul. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a long one tonight. 3 hours and 16 minutes. Is Aaron my mother-in-law? No, he isn't. But he is a friend, I would think. An online friend. And honestly, I would be very disappointed. I would be very disappointed if Aaron never came back. Right? If he decides to, cancel his Patreon membership, that's totally cool. But if he never comes back to the channel, I would be upset. Right? Regardless of whether he gives money or not. To be honest with me, the money is appreciated, but it's not important to me. Right? All the people that I see, like even you, Mr. DP, anytime I see you in the chat, it makes me smile. Aaron in the chat, Alejandro in the chat, Scott M in the chat, right? Even Scott M Scott M have gotten into it several times in the comments, right? He's been in the comments, said something, we've disagreed. I've called him out, but he's always there. Yunez, every time I see Yunez in the chat, every time I see, Mr. Nick is kind of new to the channel, but he's been here tonight. Who else? Who else do I always see? Obviously I love Brian Dangle. Wink 1980. I haven't seen you in the chat a whole lot. Steve Williams, I haven't seen you in the chat. Like every time I see Joseph Monahan. Look, do you know that Joseph Monahan is the only person who messages me on Facebook? I don't check Facebook that often, so I don't respond to his messages that often. But Joseph has been watching the channel for a long time. Anytime I see Mr. Liverpool fan Ronan O'Donnell in the chat, it makes me happy. All of you guys, Spurs Squad, Spurs 72, all of the people who are on this list right here, right? All of the people who are on this list right here, I appreciate all of them, right? Me and Matt Hayes have gotten into arguments, a bunch of people, right? It's not a personal thing. But I do have 2 rules on my channel. Right? It is my channel. So please treat it like it's my channel. Right? And let's try not to tell me how to run my own channel. Okay? If you don't like the way I run my channel, you're free to not watch, And if you do like the channel, thank you for liking the channel. I appreciate it. Good night, Abdul. Appreciate you as always. And I hope to see Aaron back too. Anyway, folks, remember to stay strong, stay Spurs. I do love all of you. I really do. It's not just a thing, right? I'm a busy individual in my personal life. I am. But I love every minute that I spend on here with you guys. To be honest with you, if you really want honesty, sometimes scheduling the stream, it's kind of a pain. Sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like it. Every time I jump on, I enjoy every minute that I spend here. And I am very, very helpful for all the people who help support the channel. If you can understand what I'm saying, if you can understand how I feel, make sure you do hit that like button. And please do subscribe. It does help. It really does. And we will see you guys next time. Love you guys. Tuesday afternoon, Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, 6:30 p.m. UK time. That's the next time that you'll see us. Enjoy your Monday, and come on, you Spurs.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go now.